everybody, and welcome once again to 3Y TV. And tonight we have the 2022 OSCA Sportsman Series race here at Dover. It is the Ben Dover 150, and once I get my tongue untied, maybe I should have did some tongue stretches beforehand. But I am Mike Goodman. Along with me is Matthew Bayuk, and of course behind the scenes is Carlos Acosta. And Matthew, we're here at the old Monster Mile, and we've had some wild races here. What do you kind of expect going into this track that carries quite the reputation?
The Monster Mile, always a bringer of chaos, and usually people expect obviously a more chaotic race and with a little bit more, I don't want to say destruction, but that is the word. However, here in OSCA, it's been quite the opposite. If you remember to our 2022A season a few months ago, Dover was actually one of the cleaner races throughout the season. We had a few cautions in the early going, but we went green for a whole 60 laps. And then in the second half, it was almost the same story. There was just a couple cautions at the end that kind of spiraled out of control, but this is a race that has the opportunity to go green for a while. In the same sense as Darlington, where you're going to be racing the track a lot and saving tires, but this is a little bit more forgiving than Darlington. You have like 3 times as many lanes to race in.
Yeah, it should be a fun one to watch indeed, but I think Mike Joy always said you have the calamity corners kind of on the exits of turns 2 and 4. And see the car up in the wall there already. Here as we wind down practice, but there we have the points coming into tonight, and after last week Darlington, the chaos that was, or not was it Darlington, Wilkesboro, I'm sorry. Kian Raleigh closed up quite a bit on Nick Indelcato, and Cooper Johnson not too far behind as well in third, and right now he tops the leaderboard. So kind of just looking at the practice speeds, potentially maybe another point shakeup after tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And Nick Indelcato had a real rough run last week after being on quite the hot streak. A DNF and a bad finish let Kian and Cooper with good runs, both of them close up quite a bit. And then you go to here, Kian's 5th on the boards, Cooper's leading, and actually racing this track in Erskine. I got to race with Cooper and Damien there. Coop and Damien are fast here. I mean, they were top 5, top 10 the whole day in Erskine, so you can expect them to be towards the front of this one. And obviously, Nick Indelcato's fast here, but you have to remember, Nick Indelcato is going to be starting an EOL to start the beginning of this race. So while the other guys get to qualify, and Nick's going to have his work cut out. So another big opportunity here to close up that gap.
Yeah, it could be a crazy one indeed for Indelcato. See if he can make it up through the field, but maybe maybe at least for us, more important than the driver's standings is that Broadcasters Championship. And after the wild and crazy week that was of North Wilkesboro, man, those points are tight. This is going to be a whole lot of fun.
I hope we don't see too much of that tonight.
Yeah, that'd be bad. But and that's just kind of how tight it can be on exit. So just hopefully let guys give each other plenty of room. And that might have been Osborne in the 15 that just hit the wall. But that can certainly happen too. That wall jumps up and bites you. You think you can make the corner, and all of a sudden last second you realize it's getting tight. Oh, get loose there for the 26. This week is Daniel Cherry filling in for that ride. And speaking of Matthew, there's quite a bit of guys in different seats this week, a lot of fill-ins, and there's been unfortunately some suspensions. And what did some of these drivers say about running here in Dover tonight?
Yeah, I mean the 3 biggest things. I mean, obviously, just aside from Dover, the shakeups. I mean, we won't be seeing Jordan Tarbell or David Westergreen tonight. Dallas is out of town for 2 weeks. DJ Weeks is going to be racing tonight. He won and finished 2nd last time we were here. He'll be fast. But as far as what they're expecting out of the race tonight, the 3 things I've seen the most is tire saving. You can get into that corner too hot and get on the gas too early, and if you don't hit the wall, you'll tear up the right front real bad. Racing the track, obviously we've touched on that, but a lot of these guys love Dover. I mean, as difficult as a track as this is, and as treacherous as this is, I've had quite a few guys tell me throughout the course of the day that this is one of their favorite tracks. It's fun. You sit down in the corner, you get back on the gas, and you kind of ride up over that hill off turn 2. It's one of the most satisfying tracks to hit your marks at.
Yeah, it's it is one. If you can hit it right, it is good indeed. But I heard you had an interesting one as well.
Oh yeah. So before we go make the picks and watch some qualifying, let me go find him. I made a little joke about the football season starting, and then I was like, oh, we have a race, and then asked the drivers questions. Dustin Dewar, driver of the 32, told me, in honor of football season returning, I'm going to give you my best Aaron Rodgers response. So, I will recite Dustin Dewar's response. Dusty says, I'm looking forward to this track. I like the challenges it presents. I've had some good runs here, but not all. That's just the product of the racing at the Monster Mile. Earlier this summer, me and 3 shaman were sitting in the middle of a luscious forest meditating. So in regards to what kind of race do I expect? As we finished meditating, this little bird came flying through, with a bigger bird chasing it, and the bigger bird eventually caught the little bird and knocked it out of the air to its death. That's kind of how I expect the racing to go tonight. It's a tough track to pass as you get, as you hope you can get underneath the guy. He either lets you go or he'll burn up his tires on that high side. These passes won't go smoothly, and what scares me the most is the car on the outside bouncing off the wall, coming out of the corner and smacking into the car underneath it. And then he said, did you see what I just did there? Kind of like the story about the birds in the forest. Someone's car is going to die. I mean, that was some kind of effort.
I mean, just like Aaron Rodgers, he's a very deep critical thinker, and whenever he walks into a room, he's always the smartest man in the room. That is Dustin Dewar's expectations, and in his mind right now, this is what we see. Carlos has got it up on screen. Just a beautiful Zen-like moment.
Then the green flag comes out and ruins everything.
Yeah, it changes real quick. What did Mike Tyson say? You always got a good plan until someone punches you in the mouth.
Yeah.
And, things could change pretty quick. But speaking of quick, Damian Leininger right now on top of the leaderboard. Cooper Johnson second. Ray Bracey, how about that, in third? Still a couple cars yet to qualify, about halfway through this qualifying session here for the Bend Over Stretch Initiative 150. And I'm wondering, Carlos, do you have any stretching facts?
Yeah, I'm actually about to queue it up right now.
We'll queue it up.
Oh,
we got. I don't have to read anything. That's awesome.
Yeah, give me un momento, por favor.
If we have a minute, do we do picks now and then stretch initiative?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
All right, and I get to go first.
Yeah.
All right. Cooper Johnson's going to take his second career win.
Wow, keep it simple.
That's the pick.
Who did you pick?
Cooper Johnson.
I think my pick, I'm going to go with Austin Beers.
Ooh, I like it.
That pick.
Just because I love the guy, have to pick him. He just got knocked out of the pole. I'm going with the 12th car of Damian Leininger.
Maybe he'll win.
And you know what? I got to make sure. I'm going to say this once again, and I'm going to cue this up in the chat. My pick is the 12 car of Damian Leininger. So now he knows it.
Evil.
Oh, it's chat's been disabled. Son of a gun. Darn it. Oh, well.
You have admin ability, so everybody heard you.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice. Even better.
Oh, so he couldn't talk smack.
Can't even respond.
Exactly.
He's going to drive straight to the outside wall probably turn 1 on purpose. We'll see how that...
It should be noted that Damien literally just got home a few hours ago after flying in from Chicago. Indiana, I think. So.
And
starting on pole already?
Hopefully the jet lag doesn't get to him there. But, of course, Nick Endocado currently on top of the leaderboard. But as Matthew mentioned on top of the broadcast, he will be getting an EOL. And another thing, as Matthew mentioned before, the 18 this week being fielded by DJ Weeks, kind of coming out of retirement. Hopefully those knees and joints and everything else. Hopefully did some stretching here beforehand, and he's ready to go here tonight. See where he qualifies.
How are those stretches, Carlos? Oh, DJ Weeks in the pole here.
I put it on the Discord thingy.
Oh, you. Oh, I thought you were gonna like. Oh, so I do have to read it.
Let's see. What do we have here?
Ooh. Facts or myths? Myth number 1. Stretching.
How much? Wait, but not to cut you off, Goody, but you guys have got that gritting up here in a second. So.
Okay.
Well, that's
right.
right.
We'll get to that
We'll go
after.
over the stretches.
We
got to
will
hustle
have.
through the starting lineup here.
Yeah, we'll have some facts and myths about stretching in just a moment. But without further ado, we'll get to the qualifying order here for the Bend Over Stretch Initiative 150. And again, on the pole, we'll be going to the back. Is that 4-car of Nick Indilcato for Shift Esports, and he's out of Syracuse, New York. And alongside him, newly racing here in the 18 is DJ Weeks for In-Law Racing, and he's out of Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Next is Damian Leininger in the number 12 South Shore Racing Chevrolet from Bakersfield, California. Behind him, Cooper Johnson, the number 91 Beers Motorsports Toyota from South St. Paul, Minnesota.
And in the next row, starting in the 5th position, in the number 80 Wall-E Racing Ford from Charleston, South Carolina, it is Ray Bracey. And alongside him in the 16 for Nurse Aviator Racing out of Kansas, it's Chris Gutierrez.
Next is the number 99 of Gilberto Javier Gomera for S2 Racing Team from Massachusetts. Behind him, Austin Beers will be starting 7th, and the number 19 Beers Motorsports Toyota from Northampton, Pennsylvania.
Filling in for John Lynch in that 86 In-Law Racing Chevy from Kenosha, Wisconsin, it is Zach Roethlisberger, and alongside it's the young gun Hayden Tufts for Weekend Woodsman, and he's out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Getting the rear end of the top 10 here is Zach T. Evans in the Me Fine car for Wally Racing from Princeton, North Carolina. Next is Kian M. Raleigh, Kian for Shift Esports and his Ford Mustang from Highland Heights, Kentucky.
And starting in the 13th position for the Beers Motorsports Group from Wall, New Jersey, it's Jack Ely. And alongside him in the 03 for Mountain Type Motorsports from Edison, Texas, that is Dylan D. Thomas.
Next up is Vincent Isabella in the number 83 Beers Motorsports Toyota from Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. Behind him is Brent Jones on the number 89 Mountain Type Motorsports Chevrolet from Dorr, Michigan. And get ready because your starting order is going to glitch up a little bit when these guys cross the line and it registers in Delicato's EOL.
Oh yeah, that is going to be a little messed up here. But next up, we do have kind of a driver change-up, shake-up here for the Mountain Type Motorsports. In the 05 this week is Zach Rogers from Louisville, Kentucky, and alongside him in the 10 car for S2 Racing from Asheville, North Carolina, it's Ty McIntosh.
Returning is Brian Osborne in the 1564 XV Racing Toyota from Howell, New Jersey. Behind him is number 9 Hank Steinmiller, filling in for David Westergreen for South Shore Racing from Illinois.
And starting in the 21st position in the 6415 Racing Toyota from Holbrook, New York, it's Thomas Capuano. And on the outside, it is the Land Shark Kynan Jones for In-Law Racing, and he's out of Blackwater, Queensland, Australia.
Next up, we got the number 66 rookie Neil Rupp III for Three Pedal Mafia and his Toyota from Colts Neck, New Jersey. Then we have got the one and only quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Dustin Dewar for Do Good Motorsports and his Chevrolet from Medford, Wisconsin.
All right, next up in 25th, probably the worst man out in the field, he knows what I'm talking about, is Adam Tepe for South Shore Racing, and he's from the dirty side of South Bend, Indiana. And alongside him in the 71 Three Pedal Mafia Toyota, it's Dave Carpenter, and he's out of New Jersey.
Next up in the 39 tonight, instead of his usual 05, is Robert Hill. Robert from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Then Cody McLean in the 5 Weekend Woodsman Chevrolet from Rochester, Pennsylvania.
And starting 29th, the man after my own heart in that number 44 6415 Racing out of Buffalo, New York. That's Zach Skotnicki. And alongside him is another 3-pedal Mafia Toyota out of Ocean, New Jersey. It's Aaron Leineman.
Next up is Nathaniel. Oh, there we go. I was at the wrong entry list the whole time. Then we've got Nathaniel Cherry filling in for Dallas Myhan and the number 26 Shift Esports Ford from Alberta, Canada. To his outside, we will have Seth Rawls and the number 25 Shift Esports Ford Mustang from Peabody, Massachusetts.
And another little shakeup here, starting 33rd. Now out of Weekends Woodsman, or for Weekends Woodsman from Wyoming, it's Alex Kenton. And alongside of him in the number 13 Nurse Aviator Racing Chevrolet out of South Carolina, it's Adam Peeler.
Bringing up the rear of the field with Nick and Delicato. Up back here is Timothy Conrad. Tim Conrad did not post himself qualifying lap, but he'll be looking to make his way to the front in the number 35 Weekend Woodsman Chevrolet. Tim is an Ohio native.
Ooh, Ohio native. I'm sure he's happy about those Buckeyes beating Adam Tepe's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Well deserved. I shouldn't say that. I can't talk good about Ohio State. It's a Wisconsin thing. But anyway, should be getting the green here shortly. And I don't know with Indelicato getting that EOL penalty, who's going to be the control car? Is it kind of like NASCAR? Will Leininger be the
inside
car?
line is the control car.
Okay, so it will be given to
It
Damian
will be
Leininger.
the 12 car will be the control car on this initial start. They will be going green this time by as well.
All right, good.
So we going green this time by 75 laps. Top 3 will invert for half number 2. And we'll see how this race plays out. Now, I think what we probably will see is probably the first couple laps. We got to make sure everyone gets clear because as Dewar will say, it can be treacherous out here at the Monster Mile. Or will we get kind of what we've seen here last season? A lot of green flag runs. We're about to find out. Pace Truck is about to dive down pit road. 75 laps of awesome OSCA racing action. Here it is. Damian leads him to the Geico restart zone. DJ Weeks alongside. Green flag is out. Make sure you boys don't spin their tires. It looks a little wiggly, but everyone gets going okay. Good run on the top side for DJ Weeks as they head into 1. But trying to power on the inside now is the 12 car of Damian Leininger. Looks like he'll take that top spot.
Yeah, very clean getaway for these top 3 guys here. As it looks like taking a peek low already is DJ Wiggs. He's going to get the bottom lane there on Damian Leininger. And we've got a pass for the lead already here. DJ Wiggs to the point. He's going to lead lap 1.
And both cars push up the
wall of turn 4.
Trouble. Gutierrez
in the back. Caution.
Oh, and Kynan Jones, Carpenter involved. A lot of cars involved in this one. Ooh, heavy damage for that 73, getting in the inside wall there again. And her driver's not too happy with whatever happened there.
Looks like a little bit of 3 wide action. Started with Chris Gutierrez, or was it 2 separate incidents?
Gutierrez up
top.
My. Oh. Weird.
It looks like Kynan Jones was slowing up for the accident, and Zach Skotnicki might not have seen it coming.
Yeah, from his point of view, he might not have seen what was going on ahead of him. We'll take a look here again. Maybe. Ooh, oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate there for Kynan. He made the right call. I mean, he sees the wreck unfolding in front of him. He checks up. But unfortunately, when you do that, you get vulnerable to anybody behind you who happens to not be checking up.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened there. If he would have went full throttle, that car will wash up towards that wall and potentially could have gotten in the back end of the 16. But unfortunately for Kynan, the 44 of Zach Skotnicki getting in the back of him instead. So a couple cars down pit road, heavy damage to that 73. And right now the Monster Mile, was it Miles the Monster, I believe, is the name. Yep. Taking his first victims here tonight. And kind of just looked at Nick Indelicato. He did start shotgun on the field, I do believe, with that EOL penalty. I don't think he had a chance to move up too many spots, but from the guys that just got in that wreck, he's now up in the 29th position. But there is the man coming out of retirement is DJ Weeks, and it was a kind of a power move there for DJ Weeks on that initial start, pulling that crossover move on Leininger.
Yeah, absolutely. Passing here is fairly difficult once we get moving, and after a few laps, it really starts to become who managed their tires a little bit better, and they'll catch the guys who maybe didn't manage them a little bit better. But on these restarts, when they're all bunched up, you can't shoot under people and make them uncomfortable going into the corner. Exactly what DJ Weeks did. Took advantage of the fast action, and as long as he can hang on to that lead, if we go green here, which, by the way, let me splice this in with something else. The whole thing with last season, we had caution, 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 and then green for 60 laps. The early caution does not surprise me because of that. That does not mean it won't be like this the rest of the race, because it very well could just go green.
Yeah, it very well could be. We'll find out as we got the 1 lap to go to green. And before we do, just quickly, do have to note I'll just go, oh my goodness, there's a bunch of them. We'll go with the myth number 1 of stretching will prevent injuries. A plethora of studies show that static stretching does improve joint range of motion, but an equal impressive number of studies show that it doesn't prevent injuries. So just be mindful, don't get too cocky after you stretch, and we'll have another myth or maybe another fact coming up a little bit later on in the broadcast, as again we get ready to go green flag racing. And oh man,
Weeks is taking the top side here.
Yeah, choosing the top side, a little bit different of a. I screwed up. I did something different. I don't like what I did. I lost my screen. Oh, there it is. Green flag is the green flag is down. Yeah, I'm figuring life out as I go along.
Whoa!
Oh, here's up in the outside wall.
Big one. Oh, the field. That's the field. That's the field. It's the park. Oh, Lord.
I think Osborne flipping there.
I don't think I would have ever predicted that in a million years. I cannot believe I just watched.
And it looked like just an aggressive start there for Beers. And
you know, as much as I hate to say it, I think a little bit of netcode might have caused that one to go out of control. I mean, it was an aggressive.
There's too many people here. I can't pick a replay.
Go to Austin Beers. That's where it initiated. Austin Beers did have an aggressive restart, shot it up the middle, but I don't think there was any real contact. Oh my goodness.
What spot is he in? I can't find him.
He restarted 5th. Oh,
no,
right now
he's
probably
right
junk.
Ninth. Wow. After all that, he was 9th. He was dragging across the wall there for quite some time. We'll take a look at the 3-wide TV replay. Oh, it looks like
this is insane.
Oh, Gilberto kind of got spun his tires in the restart. Beers making it 3-wide and collecting a majority of the field there.
Oh my goodness, I'm just in shock. I'm trying to find anybody who got through it.
Dude, I want to see if Dewar got how much damage he got. I seen him slow up for the wreck. He got hit by a couple of cars, but I don't think he got it bad. But there is a couple of cars. Oh, here's a good shot.
Cody McLean had a really. Oh my god. Cody McLean makes the right call. I'll say this much. If you watch Cody McLean's on board, he makes the right decision.
And again, I think, with Osborne, he had that Kyle Busch 2014 Pepsi 400 or Coke Zero 400.
A really weird, like lanky, slow flip sort of.
Yeah, he was just kind of shoved over. Is this on board, Cody?
Yeah.
Yep. Nathaniel Cherry sneaks by the whole thing on the outside if you want to check him out next. That's probably the only 2 onboards of guys that were directly behind it that didn't hit anything. Comes to a screeching halt and just bypasses it.
Is that the Rebestis move of the race right there?
Well, you might need to see Nathaniel Cherry too. That'll be the decider. That's our other candidate here.
I think Cherry.
That's about the whole field. I mean, almost.
That is a good chunk of it.
Wow!
Oh wow! That. Ooh.
Just pick a one and pray.
I think the danger ratio, Cherry might get it because he was in a lot more danger where McLean hit the brakes. Who was that Capuano there, I believe? Oh,
Yeah.
he's Osborne flipping.
Here's Eli.
Just about half the field came down to fixed damage. We had some stay out. Beers did not come down pit road. I don't know if I like that.
Oh, weird. And Jack Ely flipping over Osborne. There you see McLean getting through there clean. Just Beers. Oh. He tried he tried to avoid that 99, but of course set that up 3 wide, and here at Dover, not a lot of room to go 3 wide. And
Dewar.
I think relatively unscathed, made a couple contact with a lot of cars. He just slammed on those brakes.
Oh.
A little bit with Tepe, little kisses overall.
Aaron Rodgers felt some pressure there, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, you see a little bit of damage on the right side of his car, but I think overall, not too bad. Neil Rutt. See his view through the wreck. Oh, little kisses.
Little kisses.
Not too bad. Could have been worse.
Here, the field is going up. Oh yeah, here's.
We gotta get Osborne before we go green here quick.
We got motion sickness. Hang on.
We still got time.
This is a ride. This is a ride.
Oh, here he goes. Upside down. Does he land on his wheels? No.
No.
Upside down. Now we get that toe.
For the cars running 9th through 13th currently, the respective starting positions are 31st, 27th, 24th, 35th, and 34th. It's a lot of free spots.
Yeah, just kind of starting farther enough back and being able to stay out of the mess. And yeah, maybe now that a lot of these cars will be banged up a little bit, we'll get a little cleaner racing. We'll see what happens. We'll get the restart here on lap number 11 of 75. DJ Weeks still your leader as the pace truck dives down pit road. They gonna get to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out.
A little bit more calm this time.
A little calmer, and what a start there by DJ. Rockets through the field. Now Leininger's got pressure for that second spot. Looks like he does clear Bracey. He's going to hold on to second from the outside. Power move there by that 12 car. And then here's a guy, I just saw him dive low. Vincent Isabella started back in the 15th position. He's worked his way up to that 7th spot.
Yeah, and Vincent's fairly quick here, too. I expect him to make up a little bit more ground at least as this run goes on. No surprise here for me that he's up here.
Yeah, and he's to see if he can work his way up through the field.
Ooh, Bracey grabs the wall a little bit there.
And now under him is the young buck of Caden Tufts. Had a great run last week. I believe was it 2 third-place finishes at North Wilkesboro. Currently sits 3rd again, but I'm sure he wants a couple more spots. He wants to get his first win here in OSCA.
Gonna say right now, just for knowledge purposes of the audience, 5 cars sitting on pit road with significant damage, and we had another 5 barely catching the field with also extremely significant damage. A huge blow, as there's a little bit of turbulence in the back of the field. Everybody's okay. A huge blow to Kean Raleigh. He is one of the cars sitting on pit road. Oh, here's some turbulence. They're spinning off into the inside. They save it.
Save it. Wow. Bracey and Isabella getting together. It will keep it going. Now Gilbert goes in the wall.
It's Hill.
No longer.
The Hill in the
39.
39.
That's a Queen Elizabeth tribute car.
Oh, wow. Yeah, if you haven't heard Queen Elizabeth passing away today, I believe, was she 94, 96, something like that?
96.
96.
Yes, now it's God Save the King.
Yeah. And Nick Indocado, you were saying were you saying Nick Indocado, or were you talking?
I was saying Kean Raleigh. Kean Raleigh on pit road. Kean was looking to pick up some points on Indocado. Now he's on pit road. Indocado's banged up for sure, but he's already in 11th because of that crash. The big beneficiary is definitely Cooper Johnson with a clean race car up in 4th. Just watching this points battle up front here. Cooper Johnson and Damian Leininger. Looks like they both might have a good shot at jumping Kean and making up a little bit of ground on Delicado here in this first half.
Yeah, see if they can stay up front, stay out of trouble. Right now, the best place to be, kind of towards that top 5 out of a lot of the riff-raff that's been going on so far. But now things kind of look like they kind of spread out a little bit. Although we got the 3Y TV multicam, still a few positions to be had. Zach Rogers, heavy damage, especially at the rear end of that race car. Now driving me not fine.
Not as fine as he once was.
Yeah. We got a wave. Hey, you know, even though your car's wrecked, Zach, your car still looks good. Get anything from that? No, he's not liking that.
Not liking it one bit.
Not one bit. Sad face. Yep. Aw. But hopefully you can get back out there, get some points, and rally in half number 2. See if we can pick things up. Maybe get back out there and gain a couple spots. As you said, a lot of cars on pit road, so it's a couple positions you haven't. Wow, the young buck now stretching those muscles here in the bend over stretch initiative 150, getting by Damian Leininger, move him up to the 2nd spot.
Now I don't want to jinx anything here in terms of our green flag run, but I do not think these drivers are good to go on fuel. And the reason I say that, obviously, not everybody's come down and pit, but Austin, it's like every time we open our mouths about something, they've just got to create some kind of excitement.
Oh, they're still doing it.
They're still going at it.
The alignment, pushed Scott Nicky up the track.
I don't think he liked it, like being raced that way.
Oh, yeah, Vic had to tell him to settle down there a little bit, and still going at it. Battling. This is a battle, Scott Nicky and Lineman battling for the 25th spot. So, I mean, I think when you're racing like that, especially when you're kind of on the tail end of that lead lap, all you're doing is kind of losing time to DJ Weeks to catch you. But speaking of our leader, DJ Weeks, I'm looking at the times there, especially for that guy in 2nd, Caden Tufts. He's coming. He was 2/10 faster than last time by.
And, you know, it's looking like a long run. So it could be Weeks saving tires, not fuel. You can only go about 50 to 55 laps on fuel, and they've got to do 65 on this run. Or Caden Tufts is the one who saved early, and now he's going after him. Either way, when these things go long at Dover, they get unpredictable. They get very unpredictable with the varying strategy and who's actually got enough juice left. So it looks to me, by the way, also, Cooper Johnson's now working on Damian Leininger for that 3rd spot. Damian actually just gave it to him, surrendered it completely, not looking to battle right now. Very smart racing there. But it'll be interesting to see over the course of this run who the comers and goers are. Right now, it is still DJ Weeks, but that time by Caden Tufts beat him by an entire 10th and a half. He's coming fast.
You got to wonder if Caden's laying it down all on the line, or is he going to have anything left towards the end of this
lap
green
traffic
flag
here,
run?
Too. A lot of lap traffic with the damaged race cars.
That could play a role too, to see who gets through it better. We seen it actually at Darlington in the Southern 500 on Sunday in the real life. Eric Jones able to pull out that win, but you seen the time that was gained by Denny Hamlin that was running 2nd. Caden Tufts get that same benefit of lap traffic kind of helping him out to gain on DJ Weeks.
And speaking of time gained, it was another 2.5 tenths the previous time, and that time another 10th and a half. He is driving hard right now, and I can tell that because he's driving it in deeper, running a higher line, wider arc, getting the bigger runs off. But I just have to wonder, I don't know how long that's going to keep up, because looking behind him, Cooper Johnson's starting to catch him now. So it looks like Weeks might have burned it up early. Tufts could have burned it up right there, and Cooper Johnson's getting on both of them.
Ooh, and Caden almost getting into the wall. See a little bit of damage to the right side of his race car. Still trying to close in on that 18. But yeah, Cooper Johnson certainly on the move right now. And, you know, still probably about halfway on that run before, you know, as you said, on that kind of how far they can go on fuel. And see how this all plays out. I always love a good fuel mileage strategy, pit strategy kind of race, and we see that all the time here in OSCA. And right now, I hope I don't jinx it. It could shape up to be some. But look at this, Cooper on the move. He's looking to get max points gained for Nick Delgado, who has moved up into that 7th position. So he's got to move up, get that win, and try to close in on those points, trying to get that second victory for that 91 car. So he's certainly going for it right now. As DJ tried to work through lap traffic, certainly hurting him. As Cooper Johnson now is just a couple car lengths off that back bumper of the 18.
Yeah, and this surprises me. Now, I'm going to go check and see if... I don't think there's any way DJ saves enough fuel, but DJ finished first and second in this race last season. He is no pushover here, but Cooper Johnson blowing off Caden Tuff's doors. And I know we're looking here at Dylan Thomas, but Cooper is currently, he has made the pass for the lead. DJ Weeks actually pulled over. These guys racing really carefully right now. There's not a whole lot of battling. Once they get to each other, they're just letting each other by. And I think that is the understanding of the fact that we are going to go green for a while.
Yeah, certainly could go green. And if you're a guy like Cooper Johnson, you came all the way back from that 4th spot. You powered your way to get to the lead. But now you do have control. Do you kind of... if you're the leader, if you're Cooper, do you kind of back off, try to save as much stuff as you can, or do you want to stretch it and try to see how big of a lead you can get before pit stops are to be had?
I'll say, the first reaction once you get the lead is you get the cleaner, you want to get out there and run, but you have to be careful because DJ Weeks has backed up already Caden Tuffs. Caden Tuffs is fast this run. You don't want to be in a position where you do have that lead, but you are on the defense because the guy behind you is gaining. I feel like it's always good to manage the gap, maybe. Don't let them get close. Don't get too far of a gap. And just make sure you've got enough left in the tank. And by the way, with Caden Tuffs right up to the back of DJ Weeks, Damian Leininger has caught them too. They're getting a little bottleneck there for 3rd.
Yeah, I believe Damian was the only car that was still in the 24-second bracket, just barely. But now, yeah, we do have a 3-car race now for the 2nd position as Cooper pulls away a little bit. Here we got the look on the inside for Caden. See how much of a fight that 18 car puts on the top side. He probably doesn't want to lose 2 spots, but he still battling on the outside with that 00 on the inside. And Damian's just kind of waiting, and kind of usual for Dover. That bottom line kind of usually will prevail.
Yeah, you can get the runs off the top line, and at some tracks that's enough to defend. But you've got to wash up. You've got to have the room off the corner. And if you're running that lane off the bottom, you're not. It's going to want to go to the wall so early. There's just nothing to be gained up there. It's definitely for sure all about getting under the guy.
Yeah, and especially with these tires too. Now that we're a little bit into a green flag run here, they're well over a second off of their fastest lap times. So these tires definitely wearing out, and again, could be a strategy move here for that 18 of DJ Weeks to try to have those tires underneath them by the time we get pit stops going. But it very well could have burnt his stuff up getting to the lead because Cooper Johnson's still pulling away. I think out of the top 4 guys, the last lap, Cooper Johnson was the fastest.
Yeah, I'm noticing some guys diving down pit road early here. And that's not the worst decision in the world. That is banking on it going green all the way. But the payoff is huge for them. Because if you pit now, you can definitely go all the way. But for these guys that are going to pit a little bit later in the run, if you wait too long, if you come in, say, with 15, 20 laps to go, you're not going to have enough laps to make those tires work for you. And if you pit early in the run, this entire time now, you are gaining time on the whole field being on fresher tires, and they don't have enough time to catch you. I'm seeing about 5 or 6 guys. I know a couple of them for sure pitted, 5 or 6 guys that are a lap down. Some guys coming to pit road early. I don't know if any of them had enough track position to win the race. But if I'm say Gilberto or Nathaniel Cherry, Gilberto hasn't really had a shot at a win yet. Nathaniel Cherry's just filling in. Dylan Thomas, Ray Bracey, Adam Peeler, all those guys running from 7th to 11th. I'm going to come pit now and take a shot at it because we've got a lot of cars damaged, a lot of cars out of the race. If you lose a lap, you have a good chance of getting it back if we have a caution, and if it goes green, it works out really well for you.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Even a guy like Vincent Isabella, who got a little tussle on the beginning of this green flag run, but seeing how it's a smart move, we see Dustin Dewar come off pit road, and of course, being the smartest man in the room, we'll see how that pays off for him. I think just kind of I noticed he was running around that 10th, 11th spot before he came down pit road. So you see if those guys who short pit how much spots they can gain, or if they have a shot at maybe if he gets around fifth or sixth, especially once these pit cycles, the pit stop cycle through, that'd be a definite gain for those guys that came down pit road early. But speaking of, how about the Austin Beers? Did he already come down pit road? Because I see he was. Oh
no! There it goes.
Caution is out. Austin Beers involved
and you
in
looked
another
right at
wreck
him
again. Yeah, we caught him getting into
guess
the
who
14
picked Beers?
of Alex Kenton. Oh no! You pick Cooper, didn't you?
I picked Cooper.
Yeah, or Matthew did. Yeah.
Did anyone pick Beers? Oh, yeah, Carlos picked Beers.
Yeah. Mr. Second place finally breaks out of last.
Oh man, and you know what? Sorry to switch subjects so quickly. It looked like a little bit more netcode. Unfortunately, he wasn't. You'll see it shoots him up right. I was the way I was looking at it. It didn't look like he was going to hit him, but it definitely popped him the way you shouldn't be popped.
Yeah, it looks like his rear wheels kind of popped up and they got together.
It's close. It's close. It's close. It's hard to tell because they're both washing up. It looks kind of like, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that netcode was involved, but it looked like there might have been contact there anyway that was bound to happen. And of course, as you see, everyone's going to come down pit road.
Yeah, and just an interesting note, a lot of those guys that did make those green flag pit stops, I believe they were only one lap down. They will get a wave around this time, but of course, I think they really got shot in the foot with that yellow coming out. We'll see who wins the race off pit road. Caden Tuff's already moving. Cooper's moving. Damien's moving. Cooper wins the race off pit road. Top four stay the same. And you cannot count out that 4-car.
You cannot.
He rolled back out in the 5th spot.
And you know, it's not just he rolled out in the 5th spot. He came on the pit road 5th. Right before that caution there, he got around Vincent Isabella. He doesn't have to pass cars now. He's restarting 5th. And again, I reiterate, that car has a little bit more damage than some of his competitors up there. But you have to wonder how much it's really affecting him, because we saw him drive through the field, but now we've got, I would say, the top 4 here: Cooper, Damien, Caden, and Weeks. All these guys, I'd say, are the class of the field. They've all shown the ability to have speed to lead this race. Get to see how that 4-car and even that 83 of Isabella has really good long run speed, how they stack up.
That will be interesting. I'm sure if you're that 4-car, especially after the rough week that was North Wilkesboro, he'll be on the wheel and trying to get back up to the front. But as we're under yellow here, I do have to go to. Should we go with the fact this time?
I knew you were going to say it. I think it's time to go with a stretch fact here.
Yeah, we got to go with a stretch. Well, we already did 1 myth, so we'll do fact number 1. And stretching can decrease your daily pain. Static stretching works by doing one thing: desensitizing your joints. Stretching works by resetting the threshold of your sensory nerves during the range of motion. Yeah, that's good to know. Getting older, you know, I know you guys are still young bucks yet.
My ripe old age of 21 years old.
Yeah, you know, me being, getting closer to 40 now, so stretching is definitely a need be. Okay, Carlos.
Hey,
but
if you hurt yourself stretching, I have the perfect product for you.
Aha!
Dang,
when the heat is on, the pain is gone.
Thank you.
The other one is ice heat to numb the pain, hot to relax it away.
Yep.
Is that your impression?
That's always been his impression.
I'm
Shaquille
O'Neal. 1 degree.
Let's.
Papa John.
Where's Goody?
General car insurance.
You just start
ring doorbells.
You're just regurgitating his sponsors. Come on.
NBA on TNT. Okay, I'm done now. So Cooper Johnson choosing the inside line this time, and again, Damian Leininger's holding on to that 2nd spot. Top 5, top 6 really didn't change with that cycle of pit stops, but it will be interesting to see now that, as you were saying earlier, Matthew, that the 83 and 4 are right on the back bumpers of those top 4. Can they hang on? You see that damage just as he was driving down the backstretch. Pretty significant damage to that spoiler of the 4-car. So, his car obviously relatively fine, But I think if he can work his way up to the front, that's just sheer willpower and determination. We'll see how far that will get him up through the field as the guys chasing him in the points are 1-2. Pace truck dives down pit road. Will restart on lap 46 of 75. Cooper Johnson leads him to the green flag. Green flag is out. How about that restart for Coop?
We can get away from him.
And Damien looks like he cleared that 00. He'll get to the inside as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
DJ Weeks really just gave a couple spots. I don't know how intentional it was, but he really took it easy off the corner, and he's already back to 6th. I have to want you think maybe he's already saving his tires.
Yeah, maybe we kind of learned something from that initial run and how he got kind of passed from leading this race. But now Caden Tufts, man, he's not saving tires. He's going for it, trying to look on the inside of the 12 of Damien Langer.
Sideways there in the middle of the corner for him. He's wiggling off, too. He's driving it.
And he is trying to wheel it here. Still a long way to go. A little under 30 laps to go here in half number 1. And it's got to be intimidating seeing that points leader, Nick Delgado, especially after getting involved in a wreck early on here in half number 1. Having seen him in the top 5 now, it can play a mental game there for these top 3 potentially.
Yeah, you think like, what? That guy wrecked. How's he already back there? You know, it makes you question yourself a little bit. But you can't let that get to you. It does damage in this game, in this simulator, as we have a battle for the lead there. Damien going under Cooper. That's a lead change. As the damage represented visually doesn't always reflect how poorly the car drives, it might not be affecting him that much.
Yeah, he's last lap, he was running laps just pretty much mirroring the third place driver, Caden Tufts, so he's hanging on with this group right here. Definitely could be battling with these guys in a little bit, but and it looks like these guys too, between Damien, Caden, and Cooper, they're not holding anything back right now.
Oh no, Cooper showing the nose, or Caden showing the nose on Cooper there. He's going to go under him here. I don't think Cooper's going to fight it. No, Cooper goes way high, checks it up, and he's going to let Caden, but he gets a run off the corner, and they're still on top of each other. He's going to look back and blow here across the line.
Man, Caden looking like he was going to have a real good corner on a 4, but had to be held up a little bit not to get into the back of Leininger. And that opened the door for the 91, able to hold him off right now. But Caden now looking again, trying to get that good run off of 4 right on the back bumper of the 12. Nothing doing right now as Damien holds on to that lead with 24 laps to go.
I know for sure Damien's got more in the tank, and I know for sure he's holding his stuff right now. We saw the way Caden Tufts started driving it as soon as the green flag dropped. Damien right now is just doing everything he can to keep these guys at bay, and maybe he'll start to take off here later in this run, because even though it's time to go, it's late in the race, if you use it up too early in the run, you're not going to have anything by the end of the race.
And that's where maybe Damien trying to hold a little bit back.
Delgado's going for Cooper here.
Oh, wow, what a good corner entry there for the 4 car. He's going to move up into that 3rd spot. Gets a good run on the number 00 of Caden Tufts. And it's the Caden, for sure, driving almost the wheels off of it.
He just bumped Damien. He just got into him a little bit.
Oh, boy, so maybe getting impatient, wanting to get that lead. He sees that 4 car right on the back bumper. And kind of the way Delgado was running early on in this run, just kind of lingering on the back half of this top 4 now as he looks on the inside of Caden Tufts trying to get that 2nd spot. Nothing doing at the moment, but he certainly could have been saving for, I guess right about now.
Yeah, and I noticed he was kind of just sitting behind these guys a little bit, lurking, watching them battle. Maybe he's got a little bit more left in the tank. The tire situation is always ever-changing here. It's now Tufts actually to the outside of Leininger. Caden Tufts, he's got to lift off the corner, I think, to avoid hitting the wall there. Damien will still get the run off, and this battle for the lead is getting tighter and tighter as Vincent Isabella and DJ Weeks have closed up. It's 6 cars under a blanket here at Dover.
Man, oh man, Caden Tufts trying to pull that power move on the outside. I think that time by Caden Tufts did have the lead, but can he hang on to it? Can he clear that 12 car?
Here.
Oh yeah, he does, but I think again the bigger question, kind of what we were just talking about, did he burn up the tires to get to that lead?
And I think he did. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sure Caden's fast, and I'm sure he has the pace to win this race. but I wouldn't be surprised if Damien allowed him to battle him up top, because running those consecutive laps up in that higher lane is not good for the tires. Now, there are only 19 laps to go here, as we have Brian Osborne coming out right into the middle of it. There are just 19 laps to go. It'll be interesting to see if Damien and Cooper and Nick have enough left in the tank to go get him.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. But right now, I think Caden's got that mindset of just checking out on the field right
Just
now.
run for your life.
Yeah, he is right now the fastest car out of the top 6 cars that are up in that battle there. How about Seth Rawls? Up 25 positions from where he qualified. And normally, you know, for old Rocket Man, we see him getting into trouble. And I think he might have a little bit of damage at rear end, but man, shows finally flexing those muscles besides air flight. And he's having a pretty good run here, sitting in that 7th spot.
And you know, all this quarreling throughout the top 5 has allowed him to close up to them, as we just had quite the moment there of guys just barely missing Jack Ely. Cooper Johnson trying to pass in Delicado, and Delicado trying to pass Leininger. Everybody seems to be taking every shot they can to get down to the inside. And it doesn't look like it always quite works out. The only pass we've seen is Caden Tufts working the top around Damien, the only pass lately. And again, I just have to think in the back of my head, Damien's waiting because there's 16 to go. And that gap has not grown. They ran almost identical laps last time around, and I'm going to say I think Damien might have closed it up a little bit that time. Yes, he did very closely, but Damien's not letting him go anywhere.
Yeah, and just off the past 2 or 3 laps, Damien has run pretty consistent lap time, and the fall off, I think, for the 00 has been a little bit, just a little by little here, as we have 15 coming to 14 laps to go once Caden crosses the line. And we're getting probably close to that point where if you got something, although there, Caden picked it up over Damien. So a lot of these guys, top 4, at least in pretty much weird lap times, and it could be a game of a poker, chess, all here at the same time right now.
I'm going to say chess. There's still lap cars just about every corner. I mean, if you look up the road, there's a lap car like every 15 car lengths. These guys have a lot of traffic to navigate just about every lap. It is definitely sketchy out there. And there's Cooper Johnson now going to the inside of Delicado. He's going to back out of it.
That's a caution.
He's come up on the lap car, and there we go.
That changes everything.
Absolutely. I'm trying to find who it was. I don't quite see.
18.
Oh,
wow.
Weeks
Getting involved in that. Yeah, he's fallen back into the 9th position. So unfortunate for DJ Weeks, leads some laps early on in the half here, brings out the 4th caution up to the night here in half number 1.
It's a weird one. I'm looking at it right now. It's a weird one. It's very, very close. It does not look like there is any intentional contact. Vincent ran him very close. I don't even know if there was contact. From the angle I'm looking, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and say it doesn't. I don't see the cars actually touch. It was extremely close though.
Well, to see if maybe Carlos fell asleep there or something.
No, sorry, my dog peed on the floor, so I have to take care of it. What happened?
Oh no. DJ Weeks got in an incident.
Yeah.
Not as bad as what you're dealing with, Carlos, but
no, it's fine.
there.
No, nobody peed on the floorboard of their race car.
It's a little territorial, couple droplets.
A little.
I see. It's marking the territory from you.
I would.
No, like marking the territory from you. Sorry, they didn't come from you, Carlos.
No, I didn't mark
I mean, yeah, box him in, and lap traffic. Might have played a role in the initial.
Yeah, that was netcode. It's a little bit easier to see here. They didn't actually touch him. He was running him close, but he didn't ever touch him.
Yeah, and for Vincent, yeah, I think you could kind of tell, ooh, they got together there. Just trying to stay away from the lap car, and oh man, yeah, they were, close.
I mean, obviously, Vincent's going to have a little bit of damage from that, but they get away fairly clean. I mean, that could have been race ending, getting turned and going into 1 at that speed. Weeks is going to lose some ground, and I would certainly take tires if I were him, but they did a pretty good job there minimalizing that.
Yeah, just enough. It looked like it was just barely enough to bring out the yellow And we'll have that restart with under 10 to go. And unfortunately, I think for DJ now being mired back in ninth, he might be kind of out of the mix here unless something wild and crazy happens, which you never know. But with this race going to be restarting with that few laps to go, I think now we'll get to see the fruits of the labor of if these guys were saving, or if Caden Tufts, if he can just wheel that thing to his to victory here.
And he's going to get a great jump. Oh, and this will be a sketchy restart. They've got a considerable amount of laps on the tires. You've seen the cars look a little uneasy getting back to the gas already, being down at that banking, especially for those guys a little bit further outside the front pack. But now we've got quite a few laps on the tires. Caden's going to have to do a really good job, because if you hit the gas, but then spin the tires, you've shown your hand and you get a bad restart. Everybody's going to be able to creep up on you. It's important now more than ever for the leaders to get a restart, because if he doesn't get going, it's disaster.
Yeah, this is where it's going to be difficult. If you're Damien, going to be starting alongside, or anyone behind the 00 as well. Do you risk hammering down on that throttle and potentially spinning the tires, or just trying to ease off it, maybe losing a little bit of time potentially, but more of a chance to keep that car straight, because it doesn't take much here at Dover to spin those tires. I think we've seen it even on restarts after they've taken tires. And with these tires being old, it could get interesting. We see Caden choosing that outside line here. Restart.
Nobody, not even DJ Weeks, came down pit road, and he went for quite the slide. And honestly, I think it is in the name of track position. We've had a lot of cars, out of this race, but we've got 25 of them still on the lead lap. It was a big crash, but a lot of those guys continued, because a lot of those guys in that big wreck were just guys slowing up to, minimalize, and a lot of them didn't have race-ending damage. So I think that's why the stay-out move was called, but, we're going to be 8 to green here coming to the restart. It's going to lead to some fireworks, I think.
Yeah, and, I think they also only had one set of tires, so everything's kind of...
Oh,
the bed has been made there.
Yeah, dummy me. That's right. Nobody has tires. I forgot that's a new thing this year.
So now it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they saved, how they'll work on these restarts. We're about to find out with the restart coming with 8 laps to go. Remember the top 3 invert for half number 2. So short invert. A lot on the line here for these top 5 right now. Green flag is out. Good start. Ooh.
Oh, Damien's slow. Cooper might clear him here going into turn 1. He does.
It looked like Damien was playing that game, just trying to ease on the gas and not spin the tires, actually hurt him. So that gamble to be conservative, I guess, if that makes any sense, did not pay off for the 12. And now he's got some work to do if he wants a shot to win this race, as he's trying to stay on the back bumper of that 91. But right now, 7 laps to go. Caden holding that lead, but Cooper looks like he's coming.
Yeah, he is, and it's real frustrating for Damien, because I do think he was taking a little bit easier. Now, 1 car you can do. Passing 2 cars is a lot more difficult. Yeah, Cooper. I was about to say, Carlos, you're on it. You got it right. Cooper is pressing Caden hard right now. I think Cooper's going to have a say in this.
Yeah, coming with 6 laps to go. Cooper is closing right in. He gets in the corner entry. He looks like he can drive it in a lot harder. He looks to the inside going to turn 1. Can he get a run on a turn 2? No, Caden holds on that top side. But Ken, I guess it's the old saying too. Ooh, Damien, little connection issues there. But I think Dale Earnhardt, or they said about Dale Earnhardt, it's one thing catching him, another thing passing him. But here he takes a look down the inside with 5 to go.
Very, very close there coming off of turn 4. He had a really good run. He got to that inside, was able to drive it off the bottom, but he had to lift. And now here he's not going to get very well.
Oh, man, that changes everything. Oh, man, that could have been a good race. Coming to the line, big wreck on the front stretch. Looks like Cody McLean, Gutierrez, was it? Not sure who else was involved.
Yeah, Gutierrez and Brent Jones. The start of that accident was about in the middle exit of turn 4. Ooh. It was a little bit of 3 wide, kind of all running together.
Did Osborne get? He's not liking to stay on the concrete. He got a couple wheels off the ground in that wreck as well.
Ooh, net code with the 32.
Who looks like the feng shui of Dustin Dewar did not work for netcode there between him and the 16. Ooh, Ely gets turned there as well.
Did you say Brian Osborne's on the racetrack? He is. Okay, I'm surprised.
Yeah, he was in
flipping
involved
over.
in this one.
Yeah, watch that 15 in red car.
Oh my goodness, it wants to flip over again.
Yeah, he looks like a dragster hot rod through the corner. So a rough go here so far for a lot of these guys. Brent Jones showing his frustration. Just a rough night for a lot of these guys, and I'm sure for a lot of these guys who got involved in multiple incidents here tonight can kind of boil over and get the better of you. Ooh,
Yeah, and you know, we've seen this one before, haven't we? Out of the same driver. Was that
Yeah.
Cody McLean there stopping on the bottom?
Oh, it was McLean
Yeah,
that was spun around it.
Oh, okay. I just noticed the hood logo. It might have been another Weekend Woodsman.
Yep, the teammates stayed off each other. I'm not quite sure who that was. Who were on board with, Carlos?
We were on board with it's either Evans or McLean.
Maybe I just saw it wrong. It's okay. Either way, what I was going to say before I got totally sidetracked by the onboard was this was a long first half. And that's just because, you know, with the mileage and the way the laps work out at Dover, it's always a long race. We've got a whole nother half here. I really hope we don't have another parking lot here in this second half. Of course, we have to get this first one squared away. But a lot of those guys that got significant damage, I mean, you know, Kean Raleigh is going to be hoping for a big half. He is going to end up dead last in this thing. He will definitely lose a ton of ground in the points. As the three guys he's up there racing in the points lead, Cooper Johnson, Damian Lanier, Nick Delicato, they're all in the top 5. It's a nightmare situation for the driver of the 11. And he's going to have to start at the back. So it's an opportunity for him to pick up some points, but he and a lot of other guys.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a half of redemption for at least the back half here of the field for sure, and half number 2. But a lot can change even before we end this half as we go into at least our first attempt of a green-white checkered. And, you know, with this shorter period of time, too, what I'm thinking, especially with the restart that Caden had last time, even though I think Cooper Johnson's a little faster, with that short amount of laps here at Dover, it's going to be hard for 91 to overtake that 0-0, I think.
Yeah, and you saw how Cooper got away, or how Caden got away on the restart. Granted, Damian didn't get going very well, but the big thing for me, I don't think it'll be as much of a difference this time. These guys just had a restart on old tires. They know what to expect now. So while I think the obvious is Caden will get a jump on the field, he's the leader. He's probably going to get a good restart. I don't think Cooper's going to let him get as far ahead as Damian did, because Cooper knows what's going to happen on this restart now that they've had a chance. The big thing for him is he's got to stay close, and he's probably going to have one shot, because as you said, it takes time to build momentum, and 2 laps is not enough time. It's going to take a really good 2 laps from Cooper. All Caden's got to do is just have a good restart and hang on.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye, too, on that 12 car who did take the conservative route on that last restart. If he maybe overcompensates and maybe spins his tires a little too much after, you know, trying to gain what he lost on that last restart. We're about to find out about 3/4 of a lap or so from going back to green flag racing. We'll settle this one out. Can the young buck of Caden Tufts pull into victory lane over the other rookie here in the OSCA competition on the inside? Cooper Johnson looking for win number 2 on the season. And he's going to look to try to maximize as much points as he can gain with Nick and Delcano on the outside. I mean, who knows? He could pull off a move here and get to victory, but we're about to find out what happens here, boys, as the Pace truck dives down pit road. Green and white checkered attempt. Waiting for Cade to get into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Ooh, almost pinches the 91.
Yeah, Cooper got a lot of wheels in there. It's already on his back bumper, and Caden with a great launch there.
I think that's just what he needed. Let's see if the 91 has enough time to close in on the back bumper of the 0-0. And Delcado gets into the wall as him and Leininger were battling for that 3rd position. Now we're coming to the white flag. One more lap to go. And I don't know if there's going to be enough time. It looks like that 91 is quicker. And Okada's looking on the inside of the 12 for that second or third spot.
Cooper's
Cooper's
gaining. He's close, but it's not going to be close enough, I don't think. Oh, he's going to take a shot here.
He drives it in deep, but he's not going to get that momentum coming out of the corner. It's going to be the young buck for Weekend Woodsman. It's Caden Tufts taking half number one.
That's
awesome.
another first-time winner this season and a rookie winner.
Yeah, how about that? Only 14 years of age pulling into victory lane. Had a stout run last week at North Wilkesboro, but he's gonna pull it in. He showed that speed. All that second half, he showed a lot of muscle, and I guess he kind of proved us wrong there in that half, because the way he was driving, the way he was diving into those corners, I thought he was gonna burn his stuff up, but he had just enough to come away with the victory.
Uh-oh.
My second half pick is Caden Tufts.
Ooh,
I like it. And hey, you know what, that
actually,
invert.
My guy finished 14th. Where did you guys finish?
We had Damien and Cooper. We're good.
Okay,
yeah,
so yeah,
we finished third and second.
No longer in second in points, I can see.
Well, you know, you still got this half.
Yeah, we still got a half to go. That is for sure.
Speaking of results,
I'll take a look at the results there, and they see Cooper Johnson second, Damien Leininger third, Indocado fourth, Isabella fifth. DJ Weeks comes back to get into the sixth position. Look through the rest of the field again. The top three will invert, and I guess since I finished third there, second best out of us here, I'm gonna go with the man who showed muscle with that damaged race car. I'm going Nick Indocado here for half number two.
Yeah, I didn't think Indocado was going to remain unpicked after going all the way up through the field there. I'm going to double down on Cooper Johnson here. He looked stout, and I really do think if he had more laps, he was going to be able to have a better shot at that win. I do think he was able to save a little bit more late in the going, and Caden Tufts played it right, but I'm sticking with my boy Cooper Johnson here in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this second half plays out. I think a lot of guys learn, and even see if that young kid of Caden Tufts, if there is a green flag pit stops, maybe that strategy he used this half number one does not translate over to half number two. We'll see who picks it out the best. I think it's going to be an interesting second half here, especially with Nick Indocado right up there to the front. We'll have Vincent Isabella with a clean race car. A lot of these, everyone's having a clean race car again, and we'll see if Shift Esports teammate Kean Rally can pull off the same thing his teammate did, work himself all the way from the back up towards the front. But with that, we do have half number one winner Caden Tufts here in victory lane, as he's going to get ready to try to pull out those brooms here tonight. But Caden, awesome run, made that power move, take the lead on the outside. Tell us where did that speed come from? It was looking pretty good there.
I'm not too sure what it is, but I didn't think I'd do too good at Dover here. Every race I ran, I wasn't doing too great, but I mean, this proved different. I think it's a little bit of the real life luck coming over here too, after I just won my last race in the real life world. One of the biggest ones of the season for the bend that's down here. So I hope I can do decent in the second half and maybe get some good team points for our team.
Yeah, certainly looked good out there tonight, and so far in half number one. And hey, how about congratulations on that win in the Bandoleros. Hey, if you ever cross that border and head to Wisconsin, which is it's the U.S. version of Canada, besides maybe Minnesota, maybe check out State Park Speedway. They have some good Bandoleros. They got Johnny Stotter's kid run out there. You can beat fenders with him.
Actually, I don't think we're running the Bando anymore after this year. We just sold it actually last night. If I have to say that. So we're up to legend cars.
Ooh,
nice.
I already run a couple races of those, so we'll just see how we do for the rest of the season there in the legend car, and then we'll be running the Tour full time next year.
So how much can you use from that real life racing to translate over to kind of have, again, being a video game simulator, whatever you want to call it, moving from that here to to real world racing? Does any of that kind of translate to success from one or the
Um,
other?
a little bit of it does. I mean, like trying to keep your hand steady from it getting loose on you and all that throttle control. It's a huge help over here on the Sims. So, I mean, yeah, it does have a bit of an impact on the Sims. So, I'd say it does transfer over the slightest bit, but there's some things that are different from the Sim to the real world. I mean, you can't have it exactly the same, but it's gonna be pretty close. This is probably the closest you'll get.
All right. Well, we'll let you get ready here for half number 2. See the field putting up. But before we do send you down there, any shout-outs quick that you want to give?
Yeah, huge shout out to the Weekend Woodsmen. I'm running for their team right now, running their logo on the hood. So hopefully we can have them on next season too. And then all our main sponsors, which would be Broadwater Mortgages, LBT Pallets, Simply Beverage Room, Gasworth Transfer, Premier Racing Setups, and you guys are putting this on.
All right. Well, we'll let you get down there. We'll put you back in your team chat. Congratulations, Caden, and try to go back out there and get him half number 2.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
You bet. That was Caden Tufts. Now we have the field rolling off here, so we got him out just in the nick of time.
I am going to be
We
very
do
nice.
have-
I'm giving you guys 2 laps, so.
2 laps.
Yep.
Okay. 2 laps. So we'll give Caden a little time to settle in after his victory lane speech. But now we have Damien, who led a good chunk of that half and half number 1. Cooper Johnson again. This top 5 right now, top 10. It's a lot of stout cars. It's an all new ball game. What do we expect here in half number 2?
I can't believe you were thinking. I was going to say stout. I mean, the thing. This has been the smallest invert I think I've ever seen for OSCA, and the great thing is Cooper Johnson, Caden Tufts, and Damian Leininger all took turns leading that last race. That invert means nothing, as far as they're concerned. It's just a re-rack with clean race cars and another set of tires. You got Indelicado and Isabella behind them with track position and clean race cars. DJ Weeks still up in the mix. Rawls, Cherry, Gilberto, all with good runs. Zachary Rogers. Having already a win this season, he's going to be able to start 10th. And then if you look a little bit further down the field, Austin Beers, barring any other disasters, he's going to get another chance to go at this thing. And Austin Beers, excuse me for rambling a little bit, but just going through the field, this could be a totally different race. Beers, in his last 12 half attempts, he's finished top 5 9 times. He is historically fantastic on the intermediates in OSCA. Starting from 16th, an uphill battle for him. And if we look even further down, way down in the order, guys like Zach Roethlisberger, Adam Tepe, Zach Evans, all starting outside the top 25. Those are guys that are used to running further up the field, who have to start back there with, of course, Key and Raleigh. So with the first half parking lot and the tiny invert has led to a very interesting dynamic for this half.
It'll be interesting to see how it will play out indeed as we get ready to go. Green flag, 75 laps here once again in the Bend Over Stretch Initiative 150 half number 2. Damian Leininger once again will be the control car to start this race. We know what these guys around him have. We're about to find out what kind of show they put on. Pace car dives down pit road. Green flag is out. Damian leads into the green flag. A pretty even restart off the get-go. Side by side with Cooper Johnson. Indelicado gets into that low lane in the 3rd position. He's going to look to that 2nd spot. And he gets around Cooper Johnson. Now he's going to try to see what he can do starting up front.
No longer restrained by a damaged race car. He might use it up a little bit early, but I know he's itching to get out there and really give that car all it's worth. And again, it's that thing, you can go hard a little bit early, as Alex Kenton has started on pit road, by the way, just make note of it. You can go hard early, as long as you don't go hard for too long. Make up ground while everybody's tight together. And it appears Scott Nicky as well, pulling off pit road here.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys looks like a little calmer start than we've seen in half number 2. Couple passes, Dustin Dewar trying to work his way up under Adam Peeler already.
Right on the stretch,
Dewar!
There it is.
Dewar and Peeler just talking to. Yep.
Aaron Rodgers sacked.
And I think Elvis left the building.
No caution.
No caution either.
Really?
Wow. Wow.
You know
He's
what?
killing bugs
Both
right now.
of them stayed low. Both of them stayed low the entire time. Do you think iRacing didn't register it as actually on the track?
Must not Peeler.
Ah, man, I would have called that a caution.
Wow. And it looked like there that Dewar washed up the track, and it looked like he assumed Peeler was going to move up the track a little bit more.
Oh, we have a gaggle of cars here.
Wow, as Indocado moves into that second spot, still trying to hang on that low side. Cooper Johnson, and ooh, almost 3 wide here. Vincent
You
Isabella
can't
takes
get
it.
any closer.
Wow. They fanned it out, just able to get through, and now, right now, Indocado is kind of on the outside, trying not to burn his stuff up. How about Seth Rawls and Nathaniel Cherry moving their way up through the field?
Man, you cannot get any closer than Isabella and Tubbs just cut off the corner there. And Nick and Delicado, he's already right back swinging. He got caught in that freight train there, and Seth Rawls is going to get the wall there off of turn 2. He does not come down into his teammate. These guys are racing tight. I've seen some give and take, but they're not giving an inch here early on in this thing. And throughout all this, by the way, Damian Leininger has pulled out here to about an 8, 9, 10th lead.
And how about this? If as you see here on the onboard camera of Nathaniel Cherry looking ahead to that 4 car, not to go through adversity again. I guess he's gonna have to do it now. You see the damage on the back end of that 4 car.
You know, I just went back and looked. I don't know if we missed it. We were looking at the crash on lap 4 there off 2. Nick and Delicado grabbed the wall, and Cooper Johnson was right behind him. If you look at Cooper Johnson's nose and even Caden's left front, they've got some nose damage, and that was right before we cut back to them and saw that whole gaggle of cars.
In the wall, is that Gilberto, I believe, in the wall?
Yep.
Yeah, he hangs on to it. Nobody else hits him, but these guys are getting into it early.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're racing hard.
Lead.
So far, able to keep it clean. And a battle for the lead. Where did Isabella come from, powering through, taking the lead here? He was just 4th, 5th, like a lap ago. He's taking that home place through Toyota to the front.
And you know, I think he was the best. Once Delicado dropped back, he was looking under Caden Tufts the previous 2 laps. He got Caden and got around Cooper relatively easily. And man, you're not kidding. He drove right up to the back of Damian Leininger and blew his doors off.
Yeah, and again, it might be, we might have this conversation once again. We doubted Caden Tufts, and he was able to get
pounds the wall.
Oh, and he pounded the wall pretty good there. Now he's got some more damage to his car.
It's not going to handle the same. That was a lick right there.
Yeah, I think you can see his little too much tire there on his right front. See if he can rebound from that. I think I think I just seen Indocado. Maybe we didn't notice that he has right front damage as well, but that's a lot of front end damage for that 91 of Cooper Johnson, which is kind of a shame because we've seen him. He had the speed to battle for that win. And of course, he did finish 2nd, but now he's dropping back in that 7th spot. And now I think he's just got to ride, maybe hope for a caution where he can get some of that fixed up. Which Carlos is, he's trying to fix it up right
stitches.
now.
Yeah,
stitch it up.
You're going to have to change the camera angle to show a different part of the car and stitch the rest of it up. I mean, it's not just the right front there, you know? Oh, stitches just got ripped out.
Didn't last. They're the dissolvable stitches there. But one thing, as quickly as Isabella powered to the lead, it's still a freight train of all these cars together. No one's really been able to pull away from each other.
Yeah, that's what I was just noticing. I mean, we've had a lot of action up there at the front, and I think that's led to this. But yeah, your first 13 or 14 or 15 cars, that almost kind of reminds me of Daytona or Talladega, when everybody just settles down and goes single file, nose to tail. Of course, as they say that, Seth Rawls takes a dive under Austin Beers. You saw Leininger take a lunge at Isabella, and Hank Steinmiller and Capiano and Gilberto are going hard at it for 14th. There's still battles all throughout here. Dylan Thomas diving under Ty McIntosh, getting a little bit close for comfort, getting a little bit even closer than you probably should be getting this early in a race.
And I don't know if this makes the big difference. Is Cooper Johnson now under pressure of Austin Beers, see if he can work his way up to the front. But I think before, especially with all those damaged race cars, the field's spread out quite a bit more than what we're seeing right now. So as far as all that saving tires kind of talk that we had, in half number one. Right now, I don't think any of these guys can afford to. Otherwise, they'll fall right out of the top 10 probably in a hurry.
That's the thing, yeah. Everybody's running real hard. I mean, the way it's going right now, we've got 60. Yeah, I can't do math. Yeah, we've got about 60 laps in this thing left to go still. I mean, you have to run hard to stay up front, but you still can't run too hard because we had a long green. Now, in the last 3 halves we've raced at Dover, we've had a green flag run. And excuse me while I jinx it and we have a caution in the next couple of laps, we are looking at another green flag run. It's going to be important to save tires.
Yeah, and again, it will be interesting to see what strategies these guys play out. We've seen in half number one when we did get that long stretch of green flag racing. The guys that short pitted, it was a gamble that if it stayed green, it would have paid off potentially. But unfortunately, that caution did come out at an untimely time, I guess. As we do look on the odd board of Zach Evans, and he looks a little bit finer. Oh, there's smoke.
Is everybody okay? No caution.
Yeah.
I saw smoke.
I say Carpenter or something. Brent Jones.
Brent Jones getting sideways, burning those tires up a little bit.
That is sideways. That's a lot of sideways for smoke.
And one thing I want to notice is I did not see any emotion change. If we had a heartbeat monitor, I think that's the next thing Zach Evans is going to have to get. Oh, Scott Nicky almost gets in the wall. As Evans is going to have to maneuver here through traffic maybe in a little bit. But these guys run real hard here in the back. Brent Jones, Scott Nicky pushing down Evans. They get through it. But look at those emotions. See how close those cars were. Look at all the trouble that's ahead of them.
He's taking it easy.
Yeah, there's no emotion. He's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in an early 90s action movie.
And it's working for him so far. He hasn't really gone towards the front, but he's up 7 spots. He's not really pushing it too hard. It'll pay off for him in the end.
Then Cherry almost made contact there.
Always something to look at. Going through some of these guys that started further back, by the way, Zach Roethlisberger and Adam Tepe up 7 and 10 spots respectively. I'm watching Brian Osborne run one of the most interesting Dover lines I've ever seen. He's entering in the middle and watching all the way up to the wall. In iRacing, you don't usually see. Let's see if he does it again here in 1 and 2. He did it last time around. He got right up against the wall.
And some spots.
Yeah, he is dropping back in a hurry. He's in danger of falling out of the top 10, along with Cooper Johnson, who's already dead. We've seen him earlier hit the wall pretty good. So.
Tufts hit the wall recently, a couple laps ago. I don't have footage of it. Oh, wow, he hit it big time. He was running 4th, and Austin Beers it resulted in Austin Beers running right into the back of him. Not as much damage for Beers, but Caden Tufts knocked it down, and the handling on that car has completely disappeared.
Listen, I need him to actually have a good run today.
Yeah, you do. I was trying to keep this interesting, but I was scared you guys were going to catch me again. But I think one thing we did miss is that Leininger did get back around Vincent Isabella for that lead, and right now those 2 guys out of the top 5, the fastest 2 out of the top 5. Although Nathaniel Sherry, who's snuck into the top 5 as well here, 3 spots after finishing a strong run in 8th. He's right up there with the lap times of the leaders. But actually now it looks like this last time by him, that run that Vincent did to charge up to the lead, he might have burnt his stuff up here a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of not just burns up, but damaged, Cooper Johnson is all the way back to 11th now. And if you look a little further back from Cooper Johnson, you'll find Kean Raleigh, who has passed his way up to 14th, currently working on Hank Steiner. I don't know how much tire he's got left, but he's up 21 spots. I think he's going to need a caution if he's going to want to work his way up there and really fight for the win. Well, I think Cooper might have gotten the wall again. Yeah, Cooper got up in the wall again.
And I'm not sure. It almost looked like DJ Weeks now moves into that 2nd spot. I don't know if and
Caution.
got caution.
44 car.
Thank you.
44 of Zach Scott Nicky.
He's already on pit road. It had to have been a big hit.
And this was, I think, the caution that Cooper and Caden wanted to see. McLean and Scott Nicky getting together. Oh!
Oh, my goodness. Neil Rudd just along for the ride there.
Yeah, it was definitely not good to have double numbers in that wreck. There's 44 and 66, heavy damage. It looks like McLean. Did he hit the apron and kind of shove him up?
I'll have to look at it again.
It kind of appeared the way McLean's car shot up and then opened the door, almost that 3 wide situation we seen earlier, and just not enough room there, and kablammy.
A blaming indeed.
No, I just got on the gas quickly.
Oh yes, a little too much beans coming out of the corner.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one so far today, actually.
Pulled it out of the
Yeah,
microwave
we had
just
it.
a little too quickly.
Yep. Ooh, hot, hot.
And you
now,
know, it's oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, now that we see that a lot of cars come down pit road, does anyone dare Zach Rogers?
Yep, someone dares.
Uh-oh.
I don't. Now, this is not a move that will work out now. This is a move for the end of the race. And by the way, not just him, he's taken his teammate with him, Robert Hill, staying out. This is definitely a move for the end of the race. They're going to hope to have that sit later on. Maybe in about 20, 30 laps, they'll get that caution they need and they'll be able to make the tires work. But if it falls too early or too late, it's going to backfire.
Or if a caution doesn't come out at all, they'll
Or
definitely
if it doesn't
hurt.
come out. I mean,
Yeah, and the other big thing is again the lap times have dropped off.
Either 2 tires or no tires. Weeks, Isabella.
Beers. So some of these guys choosing to
Beers.
save their set. So wow. So the the turntable turn, as Michael Scott would say.
Damien and 6 took tires.
forget 2 tires. DJ Weeks didn't take tires at all.
So they're saving their sets. So not only did Zach Rogers, if you're gonna pull that move off, we've seen Rogers and Hill staying out on the racetrack here, but they're not gonna make it on fuel. And at least the fail-safe that guy like Weeks, Isabella, and Beers have for not taking tires under this caution, at least they should have enough fuel. Or it still might be close to make it to the end.
No, this will put them exactly at making it.
Oh, okay.
This is close.
They were going to be 25 laps short. I'm sorry to cut you off, Matt, but they were going to be 25 laps short.
Robert Hill Jr. does duck down pit road now.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. His teammate stayed out, though.
Did he stop in his pit box? Did he pass it? Or is he just passing through? He might just want to go to the back of the line.
I think he's just going to the back. I think he's just avoiding a potential disaster here.
There you see Cooper Johnson just drive by the 39 of Robert Hill, getting his damage fix, which I do have to mention. I made a Las Vegas Raiders team for Robert Hill.
Where's my Cowboys car?
You want one?
I told you on Twitter, yeah.
Well, yeah, I asked you if you really want one. I don't know if you
did I respond?
Robert Hill says you're completely right, Goody, by the way.
Oh, he's just going to the back?
Yes,
40.
sir.
That's
exactly what it is.
Wow, that doesn't happen. I don't know what to do. What do I do with my hands?
Just leave them down at your side, Ricky.
Yeah, right. So we'll wait for that Cowboys scheme there, and NFL starting tonight. And if you're not watching it on a dual screen, as you're watching this awesome racing action, it is 17-10. Buffalo Bills late in the third quarter. It looks like the Bills are moving the ball. So Thursday night football underway now, getting to that time of year. But of course, something we can see year-round: iRacing, OSCA competition. Oh, my computer accidentally opened my paint program. It wanted me to start your Dallas Cowboys game right now. Yeah.
Oh, what am I? Are these guys testing the starts here? Yeah, that's what. I think you just saw Austin Beers and Vincent Isabella shoot around those guys. They're trying to make sure their tires will be good to go here.
Yeah, kind of doing the old dirt track moves, or maybe even something we'd see, Beers doing a modified. So we'll see if that pays off for him on the restart. Against Zach Rogers, at least top 4 cars right now on the old tires. Zach Rogers staying out. He's got a lot less weight on that back end of his cars. He did not even stop for fuel. We'll see what happens. We get to restart with a lap 32 of 75. Pace truck is down pit road. Zach Rogers will lead them to the Geico restart zone.
It's a
And
little
the
bit
green flag's up.
slippery. They're going to get away okay here.
Yeah, it looked like everyone was just kind of taking it easy. Even those guys on fresh tires, giving them the space. Damien looks on the outside, trying to power
Whoa!
move. Oof.
And Delicado had to take evasive maneuvers there to not run into the back of Vincent. Vincent already dropping like a rock. You see Damian Leininger here. He's going to have to be careful to not hit anyone as he tries to pass them. He actually does. Oh, they're wrecking for the back here. He's going to attack Kean.
Keenan gets involved. Was that a caution is out?
Oh,
Oh,
it's a
McLean.
big one. They're all
Brett
wrecking.
Jones. Hayden Tufts got involved. Half number 1 win.
Ah, damn it!
It was not your night. Carlos, did you do your pre-pick stretches?
No, that was it. I didn't stretch.
Yeah, it showed. And that's a tough break there for the 0-0 after a good first half. Nowhere to go. I believe the 86 kind of shooting up the racetrack of Zach Roethlisberger, trying to avoid that wreck.
Was that whole thing a reaction? That was all a reaction to Jack Ely there. I think
Yeah,
Ely just got in there too hot
Oh,
and
and
got
Robert Hill went to the back to avoid this. Oh, and he
Backfired.
smashed the Queen's face.
It's Queen tribute car. And, you know, the only saving grace if we had a few more laps of green, even with that damage to Robert Hill, is we can get tires. Ooh, and Zach Evans got a little damage there as well. He's currently scored 19th, but what a tough break for Robert Hill. And that's just kind of the thing, you know. I think Robert Hill in that situation was kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't, and I guess he was damned there on that restart.
Yeah, and you know, cautions are not what these guys on this strategy need at all. They need this thing to go green. The only way this works out is if they pit, and there's enough lap difference on their tires versus the rest of the field when they do pit. If we just keep having cautions, it's not going to work because the pace difference is so bad. I mean, the top three are still the top three, but Vincent Isabella's already pegged to 9th. I mean, the last guy on the old tire is just going to drop like a rock, and unfortunately, that spells doom for Austin Beers. I really do think Austin Beers is going to get smoked on the restart here as soon as we go green. These guys need green flag laps, so the guys that just took tires put laps on their tires.
Yeah, and that's gonna be hard when to pull that trigger to put those fresh tires on, or if he even will get that opportunity to do so. And you know, a guy like Isabella, you know, he is being that last guy on tires on the last restart, falling back into the 9th spot. You know, now he's in a position where he could lose a lot more track position, a lot more time. So even if they do get another yellow, I guess either way they're starting in the back. But he's going to be the last guy on fresh tires once it comes through, and it's going to be hard, I think, to pass all these cars. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
And you know, I guess this isn't really a strategy thing, but I do need to point out the one that I expected was Kean Riley. Kean up to the 11th spot, but Brian Osborne. I mean, I don't want to sound rude when I say don't expect it, but Brian Osborne has passed 22 cars, just too shy of the amount of cars that Kean's passed. Brian started 34th, and he's up to 12th here.
Hey, you know, imagine how much better you can do when you have all 4 tires on the ground. Not to pick at me there, Brian, but obviously a rough first half, and definitely one of the guys getting redemption here in half number 2. Looks like Roethlisberger, tough night for him. He's going to go a lap down, unable to stay in the lead lap. But one thing I noticed, too, as we were pacing around here, Cooper Johnson probably choosing to fix some of that damage. Went a lap down. Now he's on the tail end of the lead lap with Caden Tufts, or near the tail end of the lead lap. Caden's currently scored 25th, and Cooper Johnson scored 28th. And those are the guys who finished 1-2 in half number 1. And, you know, they didn't gain a whole lot over Indel in half number 1. And right now, it just shows how hard it can be to gain points, but how easy it can be to certainly potentially lose points.
Yeah, unfortunately for basically everybody in the top 5 at points, they came into tonight probably with the opportunity to gain points on Delicado. Of course, Nick and Delicado seems pretty much inevitable at larger tracks, especially. Came up to finish 4th, and, you know, unless your name is, you know, Damien and Cooper were able to minimalize anything Nick could have gained. Of course, Kean lost a lot of ground. Now Cooper's in quite the hole here. The only guy right now, Damian Leininger, I can see as being the big beneficiary of tonight. If he can outscore Nick and Delicato in both events here, then maybe he'll get away with a little bit of a positive gain.
Yeah, and how about that jet lag that he was supposedly having a strong run here tonight, finishing third in was it third?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yep, third and half number one, and right now being scored third once again, or fourth, I'd say, once we get restarted. But he'll have the freshest tires and potentially the clearer path to get around these guys on old tires and see how quickly he can get it done. As we'll get the green flag on lap 38 of 75 as the pace truck dives down pit road. Oh, dude, there it goes. Zach Rogers gonna lead once again to the Geico restart zone, see if he can hold on to that lead for as long as he possibly can. Green flag is out.
Great jump for him there.
Oh!
Great jump. Oh, Osborne hitting the wall, bouncing off it. He's able to keep straightening it out. Everyone looks to shuffle into position, and now Leininger on the outside of DJ Weeks. He's gonna power through that second spot, and I think it'll be only a matter of time before he's chased down Zach Rogers and takes over that top spot.
I'm going to say right now, to Damian Leininger's delight, behind him was DJ Weeks and Austin Beer side by side. That has completely bottlenecked the field. Seth Rawls, the next car through on fresh tires. Nick and Delicato in sixth. It's working out great for Damian right now. As into the wall heavily, there's the 18 car of DJ Weeks.
Oh, tough break. He kind of falls the way of Caden Tufts and Cooper Johnson with a hard hit to the outside wall. Doesn't look like he has as much damage. I don't know if that's just because his car's light. Might mask a lot of the damage there, but doesn't look like it's hurting him too bad. Of course, the older tires are going to hurt him as well. And now Beers stuck behind the 18. He's going to lose a bunch of spots as well.
Yeah, and
Lead.
as we're talking about Beers,
Lead
yep,
change.
there it is. It was only a matter of time, and Seth Rawls is actually going to follow him through. Seth Rawls up to second here.
Seth Rawls looking to change the Rocket Man nickname meaning. Instead of launching up in the air, he's going to try to rocket to the lead as he's right behind Damian in that second spot now. He's looking to
Oh, Gilberto!
Oh boy, Gilberto once again. Man, the way he's going tonight, it looks like he might knock down that wall. He keeps it going. He's back in that 12th spot, trying to hang on over Hank Steinmiller in that 9 car again, filling in for David
Oh,
Westergaard.
he's getting in the wall again.
Oh man. Rough night for Gilberto. And it's hard to run that outside wall because that wall comes a whole lot quicker from the outside. And you see even just ahead of him, Austin Beers really dropping back out of the top 10, 14th position right now. I wonder if he hit the wall as well.
It's starting to happen to Zachary Rogers.
Oh, I forgot he stayed on those old tires. I forgot
Yep.
about that.
Yep, he's on that strategy. Rogers was third last time around. Now he's eighth, and I think officially we have the top 7 here on fresh tires with, by the way, Kean Riley up to that 6th spot.
Yeah, he's certainly hungry, trying to redeem himself after finishing dead last in half number 1. But how about Dylan Thomas? Not going to let him get away. There you see, I wonder, can we get the onboard camera here of Zach Evans again? He's got a lot of traffic he's dealing with there. Is Gilberto also dealing with DJ Weeks on those older tires?
Yeah, and those guys coming through the field, Zach Evans is one of them now. Being patient has paid off. He is up 14 spots. And just to throw it in there, Adam Tepe up 22 spots, 31st to 9th, to 8th, that is.
And how about that? Good for Adam Tepe. He knows. I'm giving him crap. Something that happened in the strictly stock race. Carlos knows, but I'm just giving him crap. Good run there for the 96 of Adam Tepe. Oh no, he wrecked the field, which wrecked me. but anyway.
Which also got me caught up in it.
Yeah, see? So yeah, we're his teammates in that series, and we're mad at him. And gosh darn it, he's running the top 10 right now. But yeah, what a move up towards the front. Steinmiller as well. Oh boy, kind of Jones able to hang on there. That was a wild ride.
That was a 21. Not kind of.
20, or well, kind of made it. He made an invasive maneuver.
interesting stuff here is now this second group of cars has caught our friends on the old tires. They're working their way around them, and man, this is what I call a leap of faith. Vincent Isabella all the way back to 19th. I mean, if he stayed on cycle, I mean, he and Beers and everybody on that strategy in weeks, if they stayed on cycle, you'd probably be racing up in the top 5, top 10 right now, realistically. But it's a gamble to win.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of cars. I mean, they're going to be quite a bit faster, especially even if a caution came out now. I think they'd gain about a half a second on these guys, the way their lap times they're running right now. But we're going to get to that point where I think it's going to be a lap left factor versus how much of an advantage you have on those tires and the traffic.
Yeah,
three factors there.
If they
Caution,
caution,
no.
I was about to say, oh no, is that
Alex
Kenton.
Kenton.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. Fine. Still, sorry, Alex. I mean, it's not like I'm okay with Alex running. It's just we were just talking about Zach Evans.
See what happened there.
Oh,
Capuano
that was a
trying to.
miscalculation.
I think Capuano was desperate to get on the inside of the track. Did not time it correctly. He got in the wall. He had enough of that top side. Ooh, cut across the bottom. Let me in. And unfortunate for Kenton. And, I think that was Lineman too that got into him late.
Well, as I was saying,
Yeah.
now might be a good time for that caution for Rogers and for Beers and Isabella and Weeks, and you'll see them all here diving down pit road. This makes it interesting now. They're going to have about 22-ish laps to make these tires work for them, and they've got a lot of guys coming with them too, so it's going to be a matter of how many cars do they have to pass. And it's a pretty big amount, but honestly, it's not as much as I thought it would be. It looks like the top 16 are going to be the ones here that stay out and are going to be on those slightly older tires.
Well, and I guess the other factor in this as well with these guys that are coming down pit road, maybe not as many cars as we thought with how many, only 16 cars staying out on the track that they have to get around. But you want to use up the advantage that you have on these tires, but you also want to be patient. We've seen this from Austin Beers, I think, in a couple weeks ago, starting the back, trying to work his way up to the front, kind of forcing it 3 wide, and kind of getting involved in a big wreck. Now, how do you balance that?
And and that strategy, I remember feeling horrible for Austin because you never have a race wrapped up, but it was his to lose. He was tearing through the field mighty quick. I'm a huge fan of this strategy, but the problem is it is a high-risk, high-reward strategy. Part of the high risk is staying out in the race, going green, and then you end up 25th. And the other part of the high risk is even if you get your caution, now you've got to pass all those cars, and you're going faster than them, and you've got to do it without hitting anything. So it is very high risk, but the reward, if it works out, is great. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think it might have come a little bit later in terms of the first caution. I don't know if these guys have enough difference on their tires. Back to your original question before I got kind of off topic. How do you manage it? You've still got to go hard. Unfortunately for Austin, he just got himself in an unfortunate situation when he tried it last time. But you have got to go. You've got to go. While everybody's bunched up and while your tires are at their best, you've got to pass as many cars as you possibly can. But there is a threshold, and there is a little bit of picking and choosing your battles. Some corners he'll find a situation where just lay back for now. You do have the fresher tires. You don't have to make that pass because you will make that pass eventually.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, kind of the lap times they're running right before this caution came out. It was, maybe a little over half a second. It wasn't that, almost a second and a half, 2 seconds that these cars can fall off by the end of the run. So it's not like these guys have old, totally trash tires, but there's going to be a big time difference. So guys like Beers, where is he? Yeah, he's going to restart 17th. Zach Rogers, 18th. They gotta run qualifying laps but hopefully stay out of that trouble as well. We're about to find out. We've got 1 lap to go to green, only 22 laps to go. And this one, I don't think is settled by any means. And even with these top 2 guys, I'm going to be really curious to see. Rawls never really let Leininger get too far away from him. Now that they're bunched up once again, if Rawls can get a good restart, maybe he can battle for that lead with that 12 car. And Rocket Man will launch his way up to the front. We're about to find out. As the pace truck's diving into turn 3, he's going to go down pit road in just a few seconds.
Kian Raleigh restarting 5th, too, has way less cars to pass now.
Yeah, that's something he likes to see, but he still has that 4 car in front of him. Hey, I guess you got Shift Esports all in inside row.
Goodness, I didn't even notice.
I did notice until just now. But Damien's going to approach that Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. A good start for that 12 car. Ty McIntosh on the outside, trying to battle Seth Rawls for that 2nd spot. Looks like he might power move and hold on to it. Move Ty into the 2nd place.
And McIntosh is going for the lead, and the wall is the Adam Tepe.
Cooper Johnson. Oh, no. Beers.
Oh, man. Beers, Isabella, and it happens again with that strategy.
That's right.
Oh, me fine.
Me fine is no longer fine. He took a hard hit. Cooper Johnson, see the smoke coming out of the back end of that car. He is going to be done for the night.
You guys just gapped the crap out of me. And our points with that one.
Hey, this race ain't done yet.
Oh man, it took out everybody on that strategy. I mean, Rogers got through, but not without damage.
Oh, and I'm not quite sure. Somebody said they're gonna watch.
That'd be the 39.
The 39. We'll see. Oh, Robert Hill. See if we'll take a look on his onboard. Oh man, just. Was that Tepe getting in the wall? Did he cause another wreck?
He got put into the
Why
wall.
would you say it like that?
Nope, that's not the way I see it.
Aside of the 15 cars that were already crashing behind him,
That was
you
on
know
the
what?
96? No, I had to say no over the alt driver. Oh, I got him all. Ooh, yeah, he got forced up into the wall. In all seriousness there.
you want to see a ride? Sorry. Go ahead with what you were saying, but you have got to look at Jack Ely.
We got maybe a couple onboards to look through this wreck here. I think Hill wanted to look. Ely look. Oh, wow. Did he daze the thunder through that wreck?
He got about as close to hitting another car as he possibly could have. He almost hits Brian Osborne here. Checking.
Oh boy! Oh, that was a hairy hide. I know it. I know it in my heart. You can pass out the outside. You can't hold it. Wow. And,
Capiano did a good job too, getting woed up for it.
Ooh, oh no! Almost a flip there as well.
Capiano almost got nailed in the rear end of his car twice. He did not hit anything, and he checked up for it.
Oh, the Queen!
DJ Weeks. Oh, that's what we got to look at. Robert Hill locked. Ooh, DJ locks it down. He got those fresh tires, burned him up a little bit, but I don't think any damage.
Did this work out for DJ Weeks? He doesn't have as many cars to pass now.
He just locked it up.
Yeah. And here's Robert Hill. He wanted to see how. Ooh, almost Capiano. Locks it down.
He did it.
I meant to do that. Keep going. God save the Queen. Or,
Well, now it's God
Queen
save
rest
the
in
King.
peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, God save the King. Yeah. Queen rest in peace. Robert Hill keeps that beautiful Queen picture intact up front. Damian Leininger still holding on to that lead. Ty McIntosh second, Seth Rawls third, Indel fourth, and Kian Raleigh still holding on to that 5th spot.
Ty McIntosh was about to make a pass for the lead there. That was surprising.
Yeah, he's flexing that muscle, and you know, I think we've talked to him, and he's had some pretty bad luck, and now that he's got a clean race, he's showing what he can do. But we do have Cooper Johnson who had a whale of a run, a fast car, maybe the fastest car there at the end of half number 1. Just fell short of getting the victory there, but half number 2, it kind of went sour on you quickly there, Coop. Kind of walk us through what happened tonight.
Well, I had the car hooked up in the first half. This is by far my favorite track. And on the entire service of iRacing, besides the super speedways, this is my favorite track. I love coming here every single time. I perform well, and first half went well. I stayed up front, which I knew was going to be the key, just staying out of the garbage that was going to be mid-pack on back. And I had a chance in Caden there towards the end, and I was very nice to him because he went and doored me on the last lap of the second half of the last week at North Wilkesboro, and I remember that, but I was still very nice to him. And here again, in the wreck here in the second half, I know it's not totally Caden's fault, but what a coincidence that Caden's the one that gets into the 16 that comes down into me. So if I didn't get stuck back there and caught a lap down and among all the chaos, I think I probably would have had a chance to win the second half, just because, like I said, I love this track.
Yeah, sure, certainly showing that speed. Unfortunate wasn't able to get it done tonight, as they are going back green flag racing here. But Coop, next week, I believe it's Chicagoland that we head to. So how do you feel about heading to? Is it right, Chicago? Yep, Chicagoland. What do you feel about your chances as Leininger gets a good restart, takes that lead? But talk about your chances next week, and any shout-outs you want to give.
I'll shout out to Juicebox Pod for sponsoring me. Shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys always do a great job. But I don't even care what track is next. If it's Chicagoland, if it's Richmond, if it's Super Speedway, doesn't matter. I'm going to be driving mad the rest of the season because.
They all
Tepe
say that.
in the wall. Tepe's going to be the loser on that one.
Keep going, Coop. You're going to be driving mad rest of the season.
Yeah, I'll be driving mad the rest of the season. So I'm going to be hunting for more wins. I'm taking no prisoners the rest of the season, that's for sure.
Hey, I like to see it. Hopefully we can talk to you next week in better circumstances. Certainly had a shot to get a victory here tonight, but sorry for the way things turned out tonight. And best of luck to you next week at Chicago as Rawls takes the lead.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Rawls would like to take the lead.
finished.
Time back in
I'm sorry.
and caution.
Caution.
Oh, caution. I'm sorry.
The queen!
Oh no.
Oh, the queen, no.
I think he got dumped.
Man, oh man.
Oh wow. Right off the nose of Thomas Capiano.
Well, I wouldn't call it dumped.
Yeah, he
I didn't say whose fault it was.
Well, you said dumped.
Oh.
Doesn't that imply it's the other person's fault? Or
Do you want
I
do you want
suppose-
race control's take on this?
yes, please.
Like live right here, right now?
Yeah.
One of you's right, one of you's wrong.
Okay, it's Robert's fault. Robert, okay.
It's
fine.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It's okay. I can read your mind, Vic.
I didn't say that. But let me just say, I mean, the 14 was also a victim tonight, so.
Okay, okay, so not putting blame on anybody. Was I wrong in the impression that when somebody gets dumped, it's because the other person did something?
Oh, you
on
are right,
purpose?
Carlos. You are correct, Carlos.
I just want to
I
make sure
am
I
the
wasn't
one
using it
wrong,
wrong.
everybody. I am wrong. Okay, let's pin the tail on the donkey. I get it.
You're wrong.
So now, so especially looking back at those guys who did take those tires, of course, a lot of them getting caught up in that previous caution or fourth caution of the night. Now we're under our fifth. Austin Beers kind of plateaued. I think he's kind of right around that 16th position. But
Yeah, he's got too much damage to do anything.
yeah, and then DJ Weeks, I believe, he did seem to get through that relatively unscathed, but I noticed he started outside, I believe, the top 25 or top 24.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't.
20th.
One thing I didn't mention was the track position loss for that. He did get through unscathed, but he had to lose a lot of track position. And unfortunately for him, we're going to be going green with like 10, 11 laps to go. All those guys on that strategy, damage or not, out the window. What you've got at the front are going to be the guys that are going for the win on this thing. Because, like I said, I mean, if you have damage or if you don't have damage, strategy's done. Don't have enough green flag laps.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially with DJ Weeks kind of being out here just to trying to win races, not necessarily going for points. So he might gain quite a few spots, but I think his intentions coming in tonight were battling for that win, and he certainly had the power to do so. He looked pretty stout. He was pretty quick. I think that was one thing that was overlooked with kind of how his first half ended compared to how he ran throughout the event, even here in half number 2.
Sorry, I got distracted by my fantasy football lineup.
How's your fantasy football lineup doing? Who do you got tonight?
I don't have anyone tonight. It's I'm actually playing against Nathaniel Cherry there. We're in a league together.
But,
he has Josh Allen and Gabe Davis, who have combined for 50 points. So it's going great so far.
Damn, I have this game on my phone. Just
remember when you said 17-10?
Yeah, it's 31-10 now, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, Josh Allen's got himself a couple more touchdowns. Matt Stafford's got himself another pick. This game's going sideways.
Like, I look down every once in a while, and I'm like, is that a quarterback or a running back?
Yeah, Allen is a big boy.
Oh yeah.
And of course, with only 9 minutes left in the game, I think the Rams are getting the ball back, but I think it's going to be too little, too late in that game for the Rams for sure. But
it's too little, too late for our guys here in the race.
Yeah. See if McIntosh, not Rawls. Apologize for that earlier. I learned I can't do two things at once. I was trying to get Cooper back to his team chat. Not good enough for that. I'm too old. But what a redemption story. Even if McIntosh just ends up in the top 5, I think we've talked to him a lot. In bad circumstances after getting a wreck, wrecks not of his own doing, ending his night early. So if we could talk to him, in a fashion of this, he'll be ecstatic, I bet.
And he had a good run last week too at North Wilkesboro, netted himself a good finish. And even in the first half, he lost his nose in that parking lot crash. He wound up 11th last race. He's having himself a good run here lately. Of course, what better way to top it all off than coming up and speaking with us in the booth. But before that happens, we've still got 10 more laps and maybe another restart or two to navigate here.
Yeah, this still a lot can happen between now and then. As the pace truck's ready to dive down pit road, 10 laps to go once they get to the line. See how this restart is. These guys up front, little older tires, don't spin them. Kind of like the strategy of Indocado staying close to that wall. Green flag is back out.
Oh, they're on that wall.
Oh,
they're getting into the wall. They're getting into the wall.
Oh, they're fanning out. Oh, looks like getting all over each other. Ooh, Beers, I thought was almost going to turn somebody there. Trying to get through the field, get what he can. How about Isabella? I just see him without a nose. He's right outside the top 10.
It's enough for the damage. I guess it works still.
Yeah, those fresh tires still working for him, even with that damage. But back up front, 9 laps to go. Damian Leininger trying to hold off. Ty McIntosh. Ooh, I was looking in the back. Kean and Indocado battling for that 3rd position.
And Delcado's got to run on Tyler had to lift big time coming off the corner there. He got tight. It'll be Nick and Delcado down to the bottom, and it looks like he's going to clear him off the corner and take 2nd.
It's just how quickly, if you have to let off, how quickly you can lose ground to the guys behind you. He's going to fall back into that 3rd position, able to stay in front of Kean Rally. And the caution is out once again.
Ooh, Leininger just that last lap, fastest lap of the race.
Wow. Ooh, Ray Bracey, he was up near the top 10.
Ooh, yeah, I think this is the definition of dumped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, man. Well, what's rule?
Oh!
Hey, Landon,
he
what's
hit
rule number 1 of stock car racing?
Learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself.
Yeah. And, well, I don't know if that had anything to do with, you've seen how low Bracey was running him down that straightaway, and I don't know if Carpenter had enough of it, and now I think he might have enough of the race.
Yeah, race control. Talk to us here, man.
You're not getting my take on this one. You'll have to wait till the penalty report comes out.
Uh-oh, yeah. That's not good. Kind of Jones had a pretty fun view of this one.
I'll
see if we get it on board. So someone may be going into OSCA jail here in a minute.
We got a few inmates there.
Yeah.
Missed
Oh.
the first car.
Yeah, thinking, oof, I missed him, and all of a sudden, oh no, there's another one. Is this kind of in here?
Yep, he's already without a hood. Doesn't really
Yeah,
need to
no.
lose anymore.
They can't afford to. Wow.
He just barely missed them both.
There could be potential major pucker factor going on. Try to dodge that wreck. That was a close call for Connor Jones. Hold on to with no hood, beaten and battered. It's hanging on to that 20th spot at the moment. See, hopefully he can salvage the night out here. As we're gonna be under. What are you laughing at over there?
Eckert got on the broadcast Discord chat.
Oh,
You got something creative to say?
I would say so. To you specifically, Matt.
Uh-oh. Oh, God. One moment.
So, oh yeah.
Go see what this old washed-up champion has to say.
Yeah, he's.
What did he say?
He was questioning your prediction on
picks,
top of the
yeah.
broadcast.
Where is that?
Broadcast
This is the
communication.
broadcast.
The broadcast communications.
No,
in
I'm.
Discord.
Oh, you see, I went to the frickin' broadcast itself.
Oh, you went on YouTube?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I went on YouTube. Yep. Now I see what he said. That's not fair. We've had green flag runs just after Big Rex. We've had green flag runs. Okay. Yeah, I'm eating my own words. I got it.
Yes. So not many cars, ended up with straight fenders. Even looking at the guy in second place, Delgado, he's got some damage. I think some of the cleanest cars up in that top five, of course, Damian Leininger, who's been up front for a good chunk of half number two, Ty McIntosh, even Kian. I mean, I think he came close to getting a couple of wrecks. I don't know if he did get any damage from any, but
his car looks spotless.
Yeah, it's rare though to see a car without any damage so far here tonight. And
I mean, I've got from my nose camera on, looking back at the car, scroll back through the field, and just about every single car has some kind of damage on that right front. However, aside from Kian, Damian Leininger also has a perfect race car, and he's led most of the laps. Has he led every lap? Just about.
No, it's Rogers led onto that pit cycle,
Right.
but he's led a good. I mean, dominated this half, and of course he would wait until I didn't pick him.
Yeah, a little jerk.
Yeah. Jeez, he's getting to Adam Tepe territory here.
Meanwhile,
No,
let's take a look at my picks today.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. There's always next week, and that it could definitely happen to any one of us, Carlos. So don't
What
feel
is happening
bad,
next week?
Chicago.
Chicago.
It's okay. Safe track, I think.
Hey, well,
He
you say
wants
that, but you
chaos.
also said this one was a safe one.
Hey, based
Yeah.
on 22A, it was a safe one, but I guess not.
Yeah, going after it, going to get it here tonight. We have 3 laps to go. Once they get the green flag here, Damian's going to look for another stout restart, trying to stay ahead of Nick Delgado, who's moved up into that second spot. I'm sure Kian's going to try to shoot with that 12 car as well, move up into the second spot, maybe contend for the win. We're green flag racing once again.
Damian with a really good jump. I'd say a little bit better than he did last time. Kian pulling up, getting a nose on Delgado, but that bottom has been much, much better through 1 and 2 every single time. It looks... Oh no, Kian's still hanging out.
As they drag race down the backstretch, can he make it stick through turns 3? How about? Wow.
Caution.
Caution.
Oh, beers! Oh, I didn't pick this.
Oh no.
Aw.
Oh, so no, it doesn't matter. Is that what you're saying?
No, it still sucks. I was hoping Beers would have a good day. I didn't pick him the second half. Doesn't mean I don't want him to have a good day.
You're like, oh, I didn't.
Oh,
pick
that's
this
netcode.
bad. Oh, good.
Race control?
The way it bounced up in the air, I think.
Yeah, Gutierrez. Yeah, the way that car reacted certainly did look like netcode.
Race control says the first half of that's not netcode. The second half where he spins is netcode.
Yeah, but that first contact wouldn't have actually done anything.
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
You know, just by the frustration in the voice there of Vic
Rich
Bloom.
Control is not having a good time.
Yeah, certainly not the night he was looking forward to. We were hoping to see a little bit less controversy here tonight. You know,
I know why Race Control's not having a good time. It has nothing to do with the amount of cautions. It has something to do with what's going on in a certain football field.
Yeah.
Is he a Rams fan? No, that's right. Never
Race
mind.
Control doesn't like football.
Say he told us he was a refs fan.
Yeah, and the refs are having a terrible game out there in that game, from what I hear. And Vic's a little upset about it. It happens.
I'll say though, okay, you know, just on the topic of the race we've had, I will say the quality of the racing that we've had at the front of the field has been very good, especially in the closing laps of that first half. We saw some, and we're still seeing some very, very good tight racing. It's just, I'd be surprised if anybody gets their shot at Damian Leininger, because we saw Caden Tufts and Damian's situation in that first half on a green-white checkered, and Cooper had to take a lunge at him and didn't even really get all that close to him. I don't know how much faster Indelicato is, or Relly is, than Damian. It'll be interesting to see if they even get a shot at him here.
And it kind of goes back to what we've seen exactly in half number one between Caden and Cooper, that you know, Cooper looked faster, but right now we might see the dominant car up front. But it's going to be either way. I think it might be a factor of time, with especially with the restart that Damian got last time. Is there enough time for Indelicato, for McIntosh, for Kian to catch up to him if they do get clear and get a good restart, stay close enough to that 12 car? Will they have enough time to make a move?
You know, I don't want to factor Kian out of it, but that third starting spot has seemed to be the worst place to restart, because that top line, whoever restarts fourth, gets such a good jump, being able to follow the leader. And even if they do lose, you know, to the guy who's starting on the inside there, they get to file in and they gain a spot here. So it's going to be a battle between Indelicato and McIntosh for that second spot that they're going to have to sort out very quickly if either of them want their shot at Damian.
And of course, that 10 car, a sister team, not exactly a teammate, see if they work out this restart to try to see if they can get into a victory lane for Shift Esports or S2 Racing. Damian's getting close, that Geico restart zone. We're back to green flag racing. Another good jump for that 12 car. Not the best. See if the 10 and the 4 can get it settled going into turn 1.
Yeah, you know Ty's going to try to hang on that outside. I don't think it's going to matter. It looks like Nick is going to get a good enough run off to clear him.
Oh, Dylan Thomas knocked out. Oh!
There you go. And
man,
that's
no
a big
record.
one.
Another
That's a big
flag.
question. Did they take the white flag?
Yeah, white flag. That's it.
White flag? We're still... It says a time limit?
It was a green-white checker.
Because we had a green-white checkered. That we had
Oh, yeah.
2 green-white checkers. We had 2 attempts.
Wow. So Damian Leininger won the race. Indelicato second. A lot of mayhem going on even after they took the checkered flag. Wow. That's
I think
a lot to unpack there. Oof.
I've got to think we hit the time limit there, because we had a second attempt to go
We
for
hit
the
the time limit.
checkered.
Oh.
Yeah, the 75 lapper at Dover is already a little bit longer, and with the extra cautions at the end there, I think that is what finished this one off.
Steinmiller, who finished in the 6th spot, celebrating with his teammate who got the win. Wow, so time limit up. Damian
Ty
Leininger
McIntosh is already in the interview waiting.
Yeah, he's waiting. We'll get him in. He finished 3rd, and we'll move him up into the broadcast here. And Ty, man, it looked like you might have had a shot if it stayed green there. And talk us through there. Was there maybe too many cautions there at the end? The restarts kind of got the better of you. But either way, it's a lot nicer talking to you in this circumstances than we normally have earlier this season.
Yeah, no, I don't know what really happened in that last 20 laps. It was anxiety from, you know, trying to do the right thing and make sure that I was putting myself in places. I feel like if it did go green, I had a shot. I just unfortunately, I literally, I think I had Damien going into 3 right before the yellow came out, but that was unfortunate. But I mean, we live and we learn. It was a good night tonight. I learned a lot about myself, and finally a good night, a great night really. To have 2 weeks where I get my back-to-back best finish of the season after whatever the start of the season was. I'm hoping that this is the rest of the season that I'm going to carry through. Definitely did what I said I was going to do tonight. Busted the playoff bubble open, I think. We were 24 out coming in, so just see where we're at and see what we got to do moving forward.
Yeah, and, overall a great night. Just finishing outside of top 10 half one, getting that podium, finishing third here in half number 2. But when you're running in second, with about 20 to go, when you were behind Damien, does that kind of play into your mind, especially with that rough start that you've had to the season? Does that put more pressure on you to make sure you don't mess up, to try to do everything perfect, to maintain that spot, to get a good points night?
If I'm being honest with you, yes, and especially having every single teammate that has really helped me out behind me, kind of wanting to do that for them, and finally getting one done. And I feel like I was also pressuring myself because I hold myself to a really high standard, sometimes too high. So the second that I messed up that pass, or my attempt, and slid up out of 2, I was kind of beating myself up. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think we're going to win one this season. I feel it. It's just got to play my cards right and get experience with this thing.
Well, now at least you have a little bit of momentum on your side heading into Chicagoland next week. And with that being said, what do you kind of feel about your chances moving forward to next week?
I mean, I feel like the team at Shift and S2, we've been doing really good. I know Gilberto had a rough second half, but I feel like we've all been hitting everything we've needed to do lately. Gilberto and I've been doing really good. I feel like top 10s are definitely coming. Even at Chicagoland, I think I'm going to be a decent contender. I feel like the playoffs are a lock at this point for me.
So I like the confidence that's building from you here, especially after the way that the season started for you. But before we send you off here, any shoutouts you want to give?
Yeah, I want to thank For Harlander for everything they do. If you guys are going out to Bristol Motor Speedway next weekend, I'm going to be hanging out with them. They're going to have their simulator set up in the fan zone. It's going to be a hell of a party. I want to thank SR Design, Seth Rawls, for the beautiful paint scheme that he's done. I'm glad that we were finally able to have it up front for a little longer than half a half. And obviously I want to thank S2, Shift, you guys for commentating, Matthew for what he does for the team. And yeah, just thanks for putting on the show, Vic.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, that's all you got to say. But Ty, again, I'm happy that we finally got to talk to you under better circumstances. Let's start making that a habit from here on out.
I sure hope so. I would love it.
All right. Well, with that, we'll let you go get ready for next week, and best of luck to you at Chicago.
Thank you.
So before you get to next interview, I want to announce something.
All right.
And it's that we will be reverting the positioning to what it was prior to that final restart. Because of time limit, we should not have had that last restart. So we will be reverting positions to what they are. So that means I have to work excruciatingly hard to do that. But we are going to be doing that. That is how they will finish, and whether people like it or not doesn't really make a difference. People don't like when I make decisions anyway.
Tyler still is third and Nick is still in second. Is that at least for sure?
I believe our top 3 is still correct.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so at least the interviews are not difficult.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. No.
I just wanted to let you guys know, let everybody else know the
Of course,
positioning will be reverted.
Yeah, so what you might have seen there in the final results might be different to what the official scoring will be. We'll get more updates on that. You can check them out at @rates_OSCA on Twitter to get the latest updates and scoring, stuff like that. But with that, we'll have Matthew interview Nick here, who came in second, and wow, he overcame a lot today. Matthew, I'll let you go ahead and take this one over.
Oh, I was just I was just about to drag him, and somebody else did, and then it made me drag him out. Nick, a pair of top 5s, a 4th and a 2nd today. I know Dover's a good place for you. You were hoping for more, and you had to overcome a lot with that EOL, even after winning the pole in the first half. Starting back there, actually, you received quite a bit of damage in that parking lot-esque accident. Was it really affecting you all that much in that first half? And aside from the wreck, what kind of adversity was there starting from the rear of the field?
Yeah, I mean, coming into this race, I knew it was going to be hard. I just wanted to put a Q lap, see what I could do, and got the pole. So I don't know if that counts for stats, but hopefully. Starting from the back, it was tough, but I knew we had to avoid a couple wrecks. And to be honest with you, once I avoided that big restart wreck, I was in good position. So damage didn't really hurt me too much. I think I hit the wall in the middle of that run, so that hurt me more than anything. Same as I did in the second race. I clobbered the wall. That whole second race, I had 40 seconds of damage. So overall, Dover has been a solid track for me, and I'm really starting to like it here.
Yeah, and I mean that much is true with the fourth and the second place finish. I do have to wonder though. It seemed like a bit of a mix-up of the guys who would be in second and have a shot at Damien there at the end of that second half there. Do you think there was going to be any shot at him, or if we just kept having the cautions, was the 2 laps even going to be enough at all?
I mean, you saw some of us get a run. I know Tyler got a couple good restarts there, but it was all about who got the best restart. And, if you could get to him, then you're probably going to have to bump him because it's so hard to pass here. So, our teammate, which I can call him now, Kian, he said that we were all bottling each other up there, but I don't think anybody was going to get to Damien. If we kept having restarts there, the leader just has such an advantage. So, I'll take a P4 and a P2, and that'll extend my points lead over the people that I should be ahead. So,
and you mentioned that points lead, extending it after rebounding after a pretty disastrous weekend at North Wilkesboro last week, heading into Chicagoland next week. How's that track for you been in the past? How do you look forward to it? Is it another opportunity to further that points lead?
Yeah, if you thought this week was competitive, Chicago's going to be very competitive too. Chicago's a hell of a racetrack for a lot of people, and it's going to be really even. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I love mile and a halves. Funny enough, last year I had so many mishaps at that track in this league. So I'm happy to bounce back from North Wilkesboro last week. It stinks what happened. I kind of put myself in a hole there, and just happy to come away with another good points finish ahead of those so I can gain more points.
So very good, Nick. Congrats again on the double top fives. Before we let you go here tonight and you have a good rest of your night, do you have any shout outs and any thanks to give?
Yeah, you guys see it every week. Sam Drace Photo is on board. Sam's a great friend of mine, and he does motorsports photography, real life motorsports photography. So go check him out. Instagram, Twitter. Great guy. Always a great add to the feed. Along with that, you see the paint schemes every week. Seth Rawls, who does race with us, he makes these paint schemes. He makes all the Shifty Sports paint schemes, so go check him out. If you need a paint scheme for iRacing, DM him and he'll get one whipped up for you. And lastly, Shifty Sports. It shifts. I mean, we've done a great job on the track, and the owner, Seth, and you, Matthew, as well. You guys have done a good job growing this to what it is now, and it's kind of feels like a colleague feel. So I'm really enjoying it. Sometimes you just gotta weed out people, and you'll get the people you want on your team. So. So far, it's really good, and hopefully it'll be better for the future.
All right, then, Nick. Hey, congratulations again on the good run. Good luck next week, and have a good rest of your night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a great night, guys.
That is Nick and Delicato driving the number 4 to a couple of top fives tonight.
And just what a rebound for him. Just the adversity he had to deal with, and even with the damage in both halves, just a great night for him. But up next, the man of the hour to win here in half number 2, and Damien, a good night. Although it was unfortunate you didn't get the win in the first half when someone picked you, but a third and a first, you might not have gained as much points as you wanted to on Indelcato, as he's right behind you in both halves. But it's still got to feel good nonetheless to have a strong showing here tonight at Dover.
Yeah, I mean it's it's like we mentioned last week. We put ourselves in a hole and knew that these next couple races coming up with Wilkesboro and Dover were a chance to get some momentum in the right way, and getting a win last week. And then I really felt like I had a good shot in the first half. Felt like I was one of the best cars on the long run. Just the way that the cautions happened, and with Caden and Cooper getting up there, it really took me about 5 laps to really kind of get going again, and find the line. and then in the second half, able to get in the invert. I think I didn't even realize that was happening, and I got the invert pole and just allowed you to set yourself off there and just keep running your laps. I noticed a lot of people were overdriving the car into the corner, and I was backing it up a little bit more and letting it roll, and it seemed to work out. After about 20 laps, I became like the fastest car on track.
Yeah, it certainly did look like you were one of the best cars on those long runs. We were kind of surprised guys like Caden in half number one and Cooper were able to stay out ahead of you, but I guess a lot of it probably paid off with those late cautions, and once you got that track position, once you can kind of control the race, it seemed to work out a lot better for you.
Yeah, I mean it's such, the restarts here are so weird, and you don't have a lot of room until the restart zone starts to when the green flag flies, and it really just takes a couple laps to kind of get everything back. I mean, especially like the first lap, after a restart, you go into turn 3, and if you don't brake way before you normally brake, you just wash all the way up the hill for some reason. So it really took a couple laps, and I think I want to say it was the second restart I had with them, or the first one. I think we were 3 laps into the run, and we were coming off turn 2, and I had a good run. I was going to go to the inside of Cooper, and I feel like I would have been able to make the move there, and we were right on Caden's bumper. And then another caution came out, and it's just, I think we went to a green-white checkered at that point, and then, like I said, it took me about 2 to 3 laps to kind of get the momentum heading in the right way again, and to pull back up there. But, it's how Dover always races. Dover's a strong track for tire wear, for restarts. If you can get that jump and kind of control the field there, you have a good shot at being able to hold on, because the tire wear after a restart, it doesn't really kick in. It's kind of a couple laps where you feel like Superman again, and then after that 3 to 5 lap marks, when you start trying to feel it falling off again.
Yeah, it didn't seem to fall off for you much at all here tonight, but again, talking about, I guess, looking ahead now, heading to Chicagoland, and if I remember correctly, I know that might be your self-proclaimed kind of Achilles heel, these 1.5-mile tracks, and what's kind of your mindset heading next week into Chicagoland?
Yeah, Chicagoland, I've never really got along with it for some reason. I don't know what it is. I can never find the pace or the long run speed there. But it's really just about going in and not making it worse for myself. I've done a good job these past 3 weeks, getting, some top 5 finishes, a couple wins, and just trying to rebound on points wise. And just, I can't go to Chicagoland and hurt myself. I gotta be able to, hey, if I'm not able to win, don't push it too much and take a 7th if that's what you got to get that day, and just try and stay out of the chaos that might ensue, and just not drive over my head and play myself the right strategy for just getting solid points, because I think that's what's gonna what I'm gonna need to get into the battle again, and then maybe we can capitalize on some of these other tracks. But looking forward to that and seeing where we go.
Yeah, we'll see where the chips fall next week. But before we send you off here for the night, let you celebrate that victory, any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, first we need to do the bicep kiss just so we continue the tradition there.
Yep.
All right, there we go. First off, I don't know what car you guys saw on the broadcast, but on my screen I forgot to change it, so I had the duck again goodie.
Oh, mine I seen I seen the baseball car.
Oh, well, I need to thank the duck, because on my screen I had the duck, and we've finished strong every time we've had the duck so far, so maybe that needs to be a staple going forward. But shout out to Adam and Hank, who was filling in for David this week, but South Shore Racing, they did a good job of just keeping me in line there and giving me some pointers on where people were and what we had to do strategy wise. And thanks to Ty, Nick, DJ, Cooper. There was a lot of people we raced clean and close with. Vince, plenty of times where people could have taken me out because I was under driving the corner a little bit, and they didn't. So I feel it was a good night for the league. Thanks Vic for putting it on, Carlos, Goody, Bayuk for broadcasting it and giving us a place to go ahead and look back and see our virtual racing success.
Yeah, for success indeed. The only thing I got to gripe about, though, is, of course, you'd run the duck just to upset me. And, of course, when I picked you, you decided to finish third and wait to win in half number 2.
Yeah, I mean that's what we got to do. You know, I tried to make it the best of both worlds for you, not win for you while also doing it with the duck.
Yeah. See,
but
yeah.
No, I think I woke up. I didn't even think I was gonna make the race today. I messaged Vic before. I flew in today from Chicago at like noon here, and I was like dead. I was literally sleeping, and then I woke up at like 5:30 or something. And was like, oh, I guess I gotta jump in there and race. And so we did pretty good.
Yeah, certainly did pay off, and hopefully next week I will talk to you once again. Hopefully I see the baseball scheme. You can run the duck behind the scenes all you want to, but anyway, congratulations, Damien, and best of luck to you next week at Chicago.
Alrighty, thanks guys.
Yep, you bet. Damian Leininger getting another win here tonight in half number 2 for the South. There we go. Thank you, South Racing Chevy. But with that. Yeah, you know, speaking of the best of both worlds, I think we've seen a little bit of both worlds here tonight, Matthew. With as far as we've seen a lot of chaotic things happen, and we also seen some good green flag runs with some great racing here tonight at Dover.
Yeah, it seems like we're having a little bit more of a destructive run at things so far this year, and we have, and it comes with a lot of new guys and larger field sizes. But overall, a lot of really strong names to add on to the ones that we already had up front. Saw a lot of good close racing up front. We got to see those green flag runs pan out, and a lot of guys exhibit a lot of control over their cars, and and a lot of really close moments too that guys were able to show discipline to keep the wheels under them. And overall, I had a fun night. We had some chaotic moments. We had some good racing. Some good fun always up here in the three wide racing television booth.
Yeah, fun indeed. We'll be looking forward to it next week at Chicagoland. Again, that will be next Thursday right here on 3 Wide Racing TV. But until then, for Matthew, Carlos, and myself, and Vic Bloom, of course, up in the tower, joining us once in a while. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time, good night now.